Hmm.
I hope what I'm saying makes sense, y'all. I don't know. Real quick, so there's no reason for her to tell him blatantly that she could not support him when it came to my allegations if she didn't at least think he did it. That's my point. Like, the fact that you're getting a divorce, like, they have both admitted that the reason for their divorce is because she did not believe him. She did not support him. When it came to my allegations against him, if you cannot support the father of your kids, if you cannot back him up, if you do not believe, if there is any inkling that you believe that he could be guilty, I would have to speak up on that. But I mean, like I said, who knows what I would have done back then when I was in an abusive relationship. So I would like to think that now, if something like that were to happen to me, I'd have enough strength and experience to stand with the victim regardless of if that's my husband or not. But maybe I wouldn't have done that in my 20s. Maybe I wouldn't have. I don't know. I know that I've done things to hurt people when I was hurt. So I'm not here to judge her. I'm just being
Like you
human.
said, it's just like you said though, hurt people because I remember that situation. And you remember how it all went down, sis, when they were talking about it, where I speak and her were talking about it. Now, he came to her, asked her, was she going to support him through the situation that happened with you, right? He said that was the reason he filed for divorce, because she wouldn't
Yes. And
support him,
she reiterated that in her own life.
right? All right, let me keep going.
Go ahead.
So we know when she tried to unalive herself, because she pointed to the video that she made. And remember, I had sis, I made a whole video saying you shouldn't be treating your wife like that, and that type of stuff. That's when that allegedly happened. And what he do, because he was hurt, he mocked her for that. He made a whole video of him sitting on the toilet while he playing the same song and everything like that, mocking his own wife. He was hurt from her not sticking up for him, not standing by him. And what he do? He went back to hurt her and continues to do it. Because he hurt. And why is he hurt?
Like me, I don't get why that doesn't make people question his integrity. If your own wife doesn't believe you to the point where you have to go and make a mocking video of her, you have to go and file for a divorce. Do you know how deep that doubt had to run for him to fucking do that? For him to retaliate
Send it again.
against his wife. I was saying for him to retaliate against his wife in that
Send it again.
form. Huh?
I was telling Paul, send it again. Oh, no, go ahead. Of course, let's keep going.
I thought you were saying say it again.
Huh.
Oh. But I was just saying, for him to react to his wife's lack of support in that manner, to me, that proves that her doubt had to be pretty fucking deep. For you to look at your husband and say, I will not support you through an SA allegation. That's some deep ass fucking doubt.
Yeah.
No, I've been saying that since the beginning, Linda. I said that before they admitted. I said this way before they admitted that the reason for their divorce was because she didn't believe him. Because I said from the very jump, I said, there's no way a wife and a mother would sit back that quietly while a woman is publicly accusing her husband of SA. Well, back then it wasn't even SA. Now they were calling it SA. If y'all remember, I see them were calling it SA long before I was. That's why I made the whole video saying I never said I speak SA, because I hadn't said that. I had never used those words before. So I said a long time ago, as quiet as she is, she hasn't even on the back end, she has not reached out to me at all. She knows he's capable of this behavior, whether she believes my story completely or not. She knows that the things that I'm saying are true to his character. That's why she's not saying anything. I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, everybody just came in the box.
Hey, Felisa. Hey, I just wanted to pop on just really quick, just to bring a point that I don't know if a lot of people are thinking about. I mean, it's not much of a secret. I've talked about it before, but I came from a very abusive household when I was a kid. Nothing like what I've seen with Patrick, but it was pretty bad. And she may be being abused. We don't know that, because in our household, like even our own cousins, there was only one set of cousins and one family member essentially from the abuser that knew what was going on. It was hidden very well from a lot of the rest of the family, to the point where own family members who used to come and visit thought that we were like Leave It to Beaver family, when really behind the scenes and behind closed doors, there was a lot of abuse going on, physical, verbal, emotional. And the way he behaves is very much how my father used to be like back in the day. Like it mirrors, it's triggering. I never really followed him, but I never really like spoke with him, had an interaction with him. So my opinion is just kind of very unbiased, and I'm just kind of making observations, but there may be abuse going on there, and she may be afraid. She may have Stockholm syndrome. It just hearing it live, it definitely seems like it.
Yeah, I don't think. I think we've already established she's in an abusive relationship. I've been saying that since the beginning. That's why she didn't come out and tell the truth. That's the thing. I've been in Tasha's shoes. That's why I knew from jump that she knew I was married to a man just like worse. Maybe not. Well, I ain't gonna say worse than him, because as far as I know, he's never sexually assaulted anybody. But I was married to a very abusive Marine. Being a stay-at-home wife to a Marine, to a military person, is most times in a very abusive lifestyle. And that's how I knew she wasn't saying anything, because she knew damn well that I knew her abuse. I was calling out her abusive ass husband, and I wasn't his only victim. I've said from jump she was a victim of his. That's why she wasn't saying anything.
She might be threatened at home too by saying anything.
No, there is no might. There is no might about it. We know it. We know it in his own actions. Look what he did to her on this app. Ain't no might about that. She is very abused financially. I mean, just my opinion, I think she's even been physically abused, but that's my opinion, and I'm not going to speak no further on that.
She might be, and I think people need.
But I know she's been mentally and financially and emotionally abused. Absolutely, we know that. We see that on this app.
And physical
and
abuse
that can be just as damaging as physical abuse.
Yep. And physical abuse can take all kinds of forms that people don't think about, because a lot of times they just think that it's hitting you would have bruises, things like that, but it can be a lot of stuff like grabbing arms and stuff like that.
To me, mental abuse and emotional abuse is physical abuse, because does depression and shit not cause physical problems?
Definitely does.
Does bad mental health not cause physical problems? Definitely. So to me, it's no different. It's really no different. You can cause physical ailments by being emotionally abusive, financially abusive.
I mean, abuse,
those can all lead to physical ailments. So to me, it's still physical abuse.
Yeah, and any kind of abuse is just a matter of control from the abuser. And he's definitely a controlling person. Anybody can tell that looking at him and watching him for like 5 minutes.
Not only about people. Listen though, it's Squidward. It's not only about people offing themselves. It has been scientifically and clinically proven that depression, anxiety, other emotional imbalances, other mental imbalances causes physical pain. It causes physical ailments. So think about a person that is being verbally abused, emotionally, mentally abused. Over time, their body is going to wear down from the physical ailments that are caused by anxiety, by depression. You have anxiety, you're jittering all the time, your muscles are tensing up. What do you think you're doing to your body? You wearing down your body. So at the end of the day, to me, it's still physical abuse.
Well, here's another perspective. If we look at it in
No, you
societal.
get outside of here. Who the hell is that on your?
That's my cheese doodle finger.
Okay.
There's another perspective too, right? Societally speaking, when it comes to shaming and victim blaming and that kind of stuff, it really makes a person a victim of any kind of abuse, not just hide, but also in a way protect themselves from further abuse from society. So they tend to deny the severity of things. They tend to downplay it. They lie about how they got the bruise in the eye, or they, because a fear of judgment, or why are you still with them, or why are you still there? So there's a lot of aspects that come into this. So especially when you're trying to prove that you're not a victim, you're a strong person, you're not weak, in order to prove society standards, right? Then you go on to victimize somebody else. I'm not like you, or I would never allow this, and so this is where I believe the hurt people hurt other people scenario comes in. And so unfortunately it's a big circle. It's generational trauma, it's generational teachings and learned behaviors. And so at the end of the day, I feel like for the most part, in a nutshell, people just try to deal with it as best as they can, unfortunately. And as best as they can doesn't mean that they're looking out for other people and how it's going to affect them. It comes from a selfish point of view. That's just how I see it.
It comes from a survivor's point of view, because it's just like I said about how, parents end up causing their children traumas, because at that moment they think they're doing what's best for everybody in that situation, right? So when you make a decision as a parent, you think that you're making the best decision for you, for your kids, for your spouse, whatever. But at the end of the day, that's only your perception of your decisions, right?
And really,
not the impact of the people that are affected by it. So
right,
at the end of the day, just because you didn't mean to do something, or you were trying to do something out of your best intentions, doesn't mean it had the best impact for everybody involved.
Exactly, because if we're going to be really honest with ourselves, like really going to be honest with ourselves, we have to understand that at the end of the day, we are inherently selfish creatures. And at the end of the day, like, we do keep other people in mind, but at the end of the day, we are thinking selfishly of how it's going to impact us the best. And that's the sad truth.
Yep, that's what I'm trying so hard to get people to understand. That is the wrong. We are living backward. That's backward as fuck.
Right.
Which is why I did have the empathy in my own situation to give my abusers the opportunity to stand in their own accountability.
I remember when this first started going down, and Tasha did start speaking out on it. And I remember the insult she threw out, bald-headed this, he wouldn't want you, and this kind of stuff, And I remember, behind the scenes meeting, we'll talk. And I remember the hurt and the pain, because it was more so as like, as a woman, like, how could you, it was that type of conversation I remember having. And you know, and even still then, you didn't say anything. You didn't really respond to her. It wasn't until I remember you did respond to her one time, and it was when you went to her and you were like, "Can we at least talk about it?" She went on this like long insulting rant.
One video that I made responding to Tasha was when she got in her camera and lied for her husband and said that I tried to show him my OnlyFans.
Your OnlyFans. Yep, I remember
That's
that.
the only
Yep.
video I have ever made in response to
But I
Tasha.
remember behind the scenes the whole entire time before that. That's what I was getting at, because the whole entire time I remember you were hurting that like another woman, and not just another woman, but another Black woman. And I remember that was your biggest pain.
Yes, still to this day is.
Yeah.
Like that's, I think that's why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling in this live today. Like I said, I have empathy for her as a Black woman, and I can't say that I wouldn't have made the best decisions at this age either, or being in that broken stage. I can't say that because I know I made some fucked up decisions when I was there. So I'm not trying to judge her. I'm just on the other. I guess I'm on the other perspective of this at this moment.
You're really from
Now I am the person that's being hurt by your action or inaction against a person that we both know is abusive. It's just like you and your cousin being, I mean, not you specifically, but specifically, because I don't want anybody to think I'm, you know, throwing people's stories out there. So this is the hypothetical, but just say, you know, me and my cousin were molested by the same family member. And I'm telling the truth, and my cousin is sitting over here like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
That's gonna hurt.
That's actually very common in a lot of families.
Exactly. That's why I said it, and I don't want anybody to think, you know, I was trying to, I was talking directly to you because I don't.
That's actually
know.
very common. It's very common. And again, it comes from, in a way, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because again, inherently, we're all selfish creatures. So again, I feel like it does come from a selfish place, a place of protection. Now, combine that with an abusive relationship, you know, on top of that, even more selfish and more protective you're going to be of yourself, and you know what I mean. So I do understand that. And you've always been I remember you always try to be a person that came from a place of insight and understanding. In Tasha's place. And I remember when she pissed you off. I remember that. Because for so long, and I think that's what even pissed you off more, is because behind the scenes, me and you were always talking about how, damn, like, she could get away.
Right.
You know?
You're saying from jump that she was being abused by this man. Like, and I always had empathy for that. That's why I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm just not going to kick a person down, like, for no reason. Like, for me, it's not even that she has good reason. It's just that I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your husband. You want to support your husband. You don't want to just, and then with all the other things that are going on, you're in an abusive relationship. You know you want to get out. You're not quite sure if you're ready to get out. I mean, I went through all of that with my own ex-husband. I love you, but I know I'm not supposed to be here anymore. I know you love me, but you know we're not supposed to be here anymore. We know this shit is over. Like, you know that you're in a situation that you don't need to be in. But right now, you don't see a way out, so you're surviving in the meantime. So I would never hold that against her.
And I can understand that insight 100%. You know, but at the same time, we cannot, and this is probably going to be a little bit touchy subject, but at the same time, we cannot deny the fact that the decisions we make at the moment, when we felt like they were right at the moment, did not affect the people around us.
Right.
Whether it was intentional or unintentional. And I feel like this is probably a good time, personally, in my opinion, because the kids are still young and they probably, hopefully, won't remember a lot of this stuff that went on, the toxicity that probably went on in that household, the arguments. And I mean, if you can get on this app and publicize everything that happened in your household, then you probably wouldn't have a problem with your neighbors hearing it either. You probably wouldn't have a problem
Right.
with, you know what I mean? That's just the way I see it. So, so the kids are still young enough to where, hopefully they won't remember a lot of this stuff and it won't affect them in any way.
I doubt. I think they're already too old. Not even if they don't mentally remember, they will emotionally remember. They will spiritually
Yeah,
remember. It's
because
just like us, that when we don't remember a lot of things until those memories are triggered back up. So, and
you're right.
we create habits based on protecting ourselves from those triggers. So those triggers get buried deep because, we walking on eggshells for a while to protect ourselves from those particular things. So those things get, moved to the back of our mind, but then something happens and they're pushed forward.
You're
So they
absolutely
might not
right.
mentally remember it for a long time, but they are
No,
going
but
to emotionally remember
there's
it.
a path already created. So I read this book one time and I found it pretty fascinating because it was talking about mental trauma, right? And it talked about the paths and the engravements of mental trauma that it leaves in your mind, basically. And a lot of it comes to paths of responses. So things that you don't remember when you were really, really little, like things like when you were 1 year old or even months old sometimes. A trauma that inflicted your life, your brain reacts to it in a certain way. It responds to this trauma in a certain way. Let's say like you touch something that's hot. After that, you know that thing is hot, the stove is hot. So your mind already knows it's a trauma response not to touch anything that's hot in the stove, like pots and things like that, right? It's engraved in your mind. So even if you didn't understand when you were 2 years old and you were little, like the effects and the scientific methods of, what I mean, like of why things are hot or blah, blah, blah. But your mind already knows, don't touch that stove or top or that pot, because your mind remembers that it was hot and the trauma was to retract. So there's a lot of things in life that do the same thing, that create this engraved path in your brain in responses to traumas. And sometimes the way that we respond to traumas is not really, some will say, not the right way to respond, right? Because we might become the victimizers at one point, due to our responses. So we have to retrain our brain literally to create a new path in our brain. It's almost like a river, a water and a rock, where the water hits the rock so much that eventually creates a path on that rock. So now we have to literally move that water somewhere else to create a new path deeper than the first one in order to deviate that water to a better path, let's say, or a newer path. And it's very true, but it's habitual at the same time, because we have to make it a habit. We've created a habit of how we respond to our traumas, especially when we have outside influences telling us how we should react. Don't say nothing, sweep it under the rug, for examples, and things like that. So now we have to create a new response, a new way of dealing with things, and then on top of that, pass it on to the newer generation.
I just want to say, and that is the essence of my whole entire movement. Real change.
Oh, I know.
Real fucking change.
Checking the oppressor within, moving
Right.
the new path.
Doing exactly opposite of what we've been doing, because we know that shit don't work.
Creating new habits. Creating new responses. Hey, Sobi.
I was just about to say, hey,
So,
Hey, baby.
hey,
what's going on? What's up? What's up?
What's up?
Much we actually just been having a good conversation about, you know, hurt people, hurting people, generational trauma. Um, yeah, we were having a pretty good conversation there. So I don't know what you've been up to today, Sophie.
I mean, that hurt people stuff. Like I understand the meaning of it, but I just don't buy it, right? Because I think that if you were hurt and like for me, my accident that I was in, right? I wouldn't wish that onto nobody, nor would I push that onto nobody. So I hate the
Can I
fact
give you
that
the
hurt
context of?
people
Can I
go
wait?
around.
Can I first give you the context of how we were using that though? Because I think you're going to like what
Okay.
I
Oh,
was
yeah,
saying
that's what
was
I'm gonna say.
hurt people
Yeah,
is
because
a
that's what I'm like.
surface. Hold on. I was saying that hurt people is like a surface comment. Like I said, we get used to these catchphrases, right? But do we really think about what hurt people mean? Because at the end of the day, that is absolute evidence of generational trauma. That's why that's how the
Okay, so you were
abused
breaking it
becomes
down
the
then.
abuser. So I'm like,
We're,
instead of us just saying hurt people, we need to get to the root of this. Because
yeah,
that's actually true.
Yeah,
But
so
why is it
because
true? Why
we're
is it true
actually
that hurt
agreeing with
people
you,
hurt people?
Sophie.
Because the
police, that's
abused
what I'm
turns
saying.
around a lot of the times and becomes the abuser.
So that's what I'm saying. You were
Agreeing
breaking
with
it
you.
down. You weren't
I'm
just
actually agreeing.
throwing it out there like
Right. I'm actually agreeing with you,
you're
Sophie, because you can't just
yeah.
throw it out there. You can't just throw it out there, right? Like, because at the end of the day, there's context to it. There's a lot of
So no,
context to it. And
that's what I'm saying. What
yeah,
Polisa just said, right? That makes more. There you go. That's the more in depth. Because I wasn't here for the whole thing. So
We
that's
just
what I'm saying.
said
So
it's a
thank you,
learned.
Polisa.
You have to learn this behavior, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
you grow up to abuse somebody, that means that more than likely someone abused you. You got those characteristics from your abuser. So
Yup.
yes, a lot of the times hurt people do hurt people because that's really all they know. They don't know no better. They took the actions of their abuser and turned it into their own actions.
So
But
would
when
you
we
say
say it, we dismiss all the root of it, like hurt people. But why? Why though?
that's what I was gonna say, Polisa. So do you also believe that these hurt people didn't get help and didn't get whatever they needed? This is why they tend to like some of them end up becoming, the predator when they were the prey before.
Well,
Would you
I
say
really
that could
don't
be one of
believe.
the consequences?
I think so.
I really don't believe in this system. So I believe that a lot of people that even think they got help don't really. I mean, because look at a lot of these people that claim to be
But wait, but
therapists.
you're thinking
Hold
about
on,
you're
let me
thinking
finish.
about
Let me finish.
system medical
That's
help.
a good point.
Like help can
Look,
be
hold on. Let me
like
finish. Hold on. Look at these people that claim to be therapists. Look how they act.
And that
Your
part.
therapist needs a fucking therapist. That therapist needs a therapist. If therapy really worked the way it was supposed to work, a lot of hurt people wouldn't be hurting people. Because for one, therapy, the basics of therapy is really just talking your problems out to someone. And if we had better connections as human beings, we could talk to each other. We wouldn't need to go pay a stranger to tell a stranger about our issues when we could talk to the people that we're having the issues with. But we don't have that type of relationship because it's not nurtured in this society. Because this society nurtures us to not have those type of relationships so that we can fill up the fucking bank pockets of the fucking mental health system that doesn't really help people. Because if it did, then people wouldn't have to be in therapy for 20, 30, 40 fucking years.
I think
So at the end of the day, like I think that a lot of people try to get help. They try like that, like in this Tasha situation. That's why I said I'm not judging her. I'm not judging her at all. I'm hurt by what she's doing, but I'm not judging her because who's to say I wouldn't have made the fucking same goddamn decisions back then when I was in an abusive relationship?
Well, I agree with you, Polisa, as far as it comes to the system, because I can tell you from my personal experience when, going to see a therapist or whatever, a psychiatrist, whatever they recommend you to after you talk to them, they all try to medicate me. And I'm like, no, I don't need medication. Like, I don't, I don't need that. I just, like it's all about profit.
Can I say I feel
Yeah.
like the biggest problem we have with healing society within ourselves, personally, I feel like is accountability. And I think that regardless of the situation we were in, we all played a part because we're all responsible for our own actions, our own part in anything that we did. So even, and I'll give you an example, right? I tell this to some of my family members all the time. Like, I feel like I always did the right thing in speaking up, but my family members felt like they did the best that they could based on what they were taught was the right thing to do at the time. And I say this a lot. Like, I was raised to think, like, stay out of trouble. Don't bring attention to yourself. You don't want to get arrested because you don't know how they're not fair and all this type of thing. So their first response was just sweep it under the rug. So it was like they felt like at the time they were doing the right thing based on society norms at the time and how society treated people. So it's like, but at the same time, it doesn't excuse the fact that it did hurt me. It did hurt me. It did traumatize me. And I'm not, and that's not to say that I'm blaming them for the what initially happened. But at the same time, I can't deny the fact that the teachings, the generational teachings that they were taught, help perpetuate further trauma. And that's something that they do not want to acknowledge. They just want to say, well, I had to do what I had to do. And I do understand that insight as well, but that does not take away from what it did to me.
And that's exactly what I'm saying right now about Tasha. That's all I'm saying right now about Tasha.
And I know that I know they didn't mean to hurt me purposely. I know they didn't, and I know that. But the term hurt people is not that surface level. It goes way deeper than that. They were hurt and they were taught how to deal with that hurt, and they passed it on and they taught it to us and how we were supposed to deal with it. But it still didn't change the fact that their hurt me.
There's a book out there. I wish I could remember the name of it because I say I listen to it because I tend to do books on audio. But it talks about how exactly kind of what you're talking about, how all of our parents, like, they do the best that they can, but they are passing on their generational trauma, their traditions, what they think is best. Like, they all learn from their parents what they think is the right thing to do, right?
Right. I don't hate my parents for it. I'm not saying
Right.
I hate them for it.
I get it,
but it still doesn't change the fact that it did hurt me.
Right. And I totally get that. But I mean, you all make like really good, valid points. Therapy is something like, and I have no shame in saying this. Like, I've gone to therapy on and off for years since I was a kid, on and off when I feel I need it. But sometimes finding the right therapist is really difficult too, because they do tend to do exactly what Sophie said. The majority of them will just sit there and pass on a pill. I've had to tell therapists, I don't want the medication. I've tried the medication. Like, there's some things that are good that are short term until you get over the anxiety and to help you to get to that point when you're dealing with talk therapy. And I'm a big fan of talk therapy because I do think, like, if you find the right therapist, and they're rare out there, like sometimes you got to go through 3, 4, 5 before you find the right one.
Well, let's talk about talk therapy, Joe, because at the end of the day, talk therapy. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I'll lose my train of thought really easy.
Me too. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's cool. I'll lose my train of thought really easy. Like I'm already doing it, but
Sorry,
no, it's okay. It's just how my brain is. But if you work through that talk therapy and you actually, like, the first thing is, what do we all say? Like, even if you're an addict, like, you have to admit that you have a fucking problem, right? And I can tell you all, for me, it was right around when I was becoming a teenager, and it was a dog that taught me my lesson, because I very easily could have turned out like a lot of my other family. And that dog, the way that it looked at me, because I was taught, like, the way you teach a dog was to hit it, right? The very first time I hit a dog, thinking that was normal. And I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I'm being 100% honest. Like, as a kid, not knowing any better, thinking that was the way to teach it. the way that dog looked at me, I never wanted to hurt anything else again after that. And I realized, and I cried, and I realized, like, this is not right. This isn't, like, there's got to be other ways to teach. You know what I mean? Because I also knew the pain that I was experiencing being on the receiving end, and the pain that I saw in that dog's eyes was what I felt when it happened to me. So I think you have a choice where it's like, okay, at some point in your life, you've got to recognize, am I going to be somebody who wants to try and control others and be like that? Or am I somebody who's going to try and make changes and try to be something different? And even though I recognize that, there's never a light switch. It's never going to be overnight. And you can go to therapy for years. You could be stuck with a bad therapist that's just going to enable you, medicate you, right? I think the key is that a good therapist, they're more than just talking to each other, because they've studied the patterns and they've studied the things and the ways that you can change your behavior, and they give you the tools essentially that you have to use. And again, it's not going to be a light switch. Like, you have to implicate those tools yourself. You have to recognize the problems. You have to be willing to say, okay, these are my faults, these are my flaws, and then take those tools and put them into play every day. And it takes years upon years to change behaviors and patterns that have been drilled and instilled into you from your parents, society, religion, all this kind of crap. So yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that out.
No, I completely agree. That's actually where I was going with it, honestly, because at the end of the day, if I'm not making changes, right, it's a two-way relationship in any relationship, or friendship, or marriage, or whatever. If I'm not recognizing my part, and let's say I remarry again, right, I'm just bringing the same thing to the next marriage. I'm not doing so. I'm gonna find myself in the same position again. But back to therapy talk. The way I see it is therapy talk. It's literally that. Is you being able to talk, and you feel like someone is listening, because that's the major complaint I hear about people with therapists, is that they don't feel heard. They feel they're being rushed out of the office. They feel like they're just there to get paid. So at the end of the day, talk therapy is literally that, is where you actually talk and you feel heard. And that's the majority of the problem in our generational trauma, is that when we speak up, we are not heard. And so as a community, that's what we should be able to do, is listen to each other, be there for each other, not cover up for the predators, not make excuses, not victim blame, not victim shame, be heard, really heard. And this is why we go to therapy. Honestly, in my opinion, this is what people pay for, is to be heard. And personally, I don't think that's the way it should be. I believe in the village theory. It takes a village to raise our children, and we should be able to hear each other and look out for each other and be there for each other as a village. So that's just my take on it.
I'm just taking this all in, y'all. I'm listening.
I think, unfortunately, there's a stigma around mental health therapy. And I think, like, somebody said in the comments that there's a lot of therapists that get in it for the wrong reasons. And I think they're right. I think there's a lot of doctors that get into things for the wrong reasons. A lot of good ones, obviously, but a lot of them just do it for the money or for selfish reasons. They don't really care. And I think those are the ones that are very quick to prescribe medications without even trying or offering. I think also that's perpetuated by the healthcare system, like Police was talking about. I mean, it is designed to keep us almost numb, if you will, to a lot of the shit that's going on.
Exactly. It's built to keep us individualistic. It's built to keep us selfish, because if you're only worried about yourself, if you don't care about yourself, then you will never come together as a community. And the biggest weapon that the government has against us is keeping us separated.
Yep.
Now, we might think that we're not separated because we live in the same neighborhoods and, you know, we go to the same parks and we celebrate at the same concerts, but we have such an individualistic mindset
We do.
that we are just individuals living in a ununified community.
Those are really, really good points. And I think a lot of people, tell me if you agree, I think humans overall tend to think that everybody else thinks like them, and they forget that like our minds all work very differently and we all have different thought processes and ways of getting from point A to point B, if you will. But people tend to think that everybody thinks like them. So like for me, sometimes I'm very blunt, if you guys haven't noticed. And sometimes I say things that they might come out completely different from what I mean, and I don't even think about it until somebody brings it to my attention. But there's also those people out there that will automatically assume they know what I'm thinking, you know, and they'll say, oh, like I saw iSpeak doing it to you yesterday, Polisa, where and this is a very manipulative tool where people will say, oh, you're just doing this because of this. They're automatically assuming and putting an idea and a narrative out to everybody else, the reasons why you're doing something. Instead of asking you why you're doing this, why you're saying this, they're making a presumption and they're putting it out there. And why are they doing that? Most of the times, not all the times, most of the times I think it's because that's what their thought process is, and that's the reason that they would do it. So they're projecting it onto you.
And I was about to say that's exactly where projection comes from.
Yep. So I mean, I saw him doing that to you in a live several times last night. He's like, oh, you're just saying this because of this. Oh, you just did that because of this, because you want content. Maybe not thinking like, no, I'm sorry, I'm a black woman in America and I'm dealing with government officials. I want this recorded for my safety so that they can't come back later and say, oh, sorry, we lost the recording. We lost our copy. You can't have a copy or never get it to you. You know what I mean?
Which still boggles my mind that you could be an activist and say those type of things. Like, what activists trust the government? Like, if you're an activist, that would be redundant, wouldn't it? Because what are you activating against?
Listen, these are the same, not iSpeak per se or Patrick, but these are the same groups of people that are out here literally saying they stand against police brutality while standing with the police on a side of a victim that just happens to be very closely associated with somebody they hate. Hi. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, that's exactly what they do. Like they talk out of their butts.
It's an oxymoron, is what it is.
They're constantly saying, I mean, think about it, Polisa. You got a whole several white women out here saying to people how wrong it is to go after black women, but yet what are they doing? They're constantly going after you, Alicia, other people. I don't care how much they don't like Alicia. Like, I still haven't spoken with Alicia in a long time. But the fact of the matter is, I still remember when she made the video stating that she's indigenous as well. And yet I saw a video of Cuban saying she's never gone after an indigenous woman. Really? Because she's going after a black and indigenous woman, at least Alicia and others I know. Multiple. Yeah, but she's literally telling this indigenous man who's calling her out, obviously being a representative for other elder indigenous, as he says, and he clearly didn't know, you know, that Cuban and T. Nathan were two different people or what this whole thing was. He was clearly being a spokesperson or something. I don't know. I haven't spoken to the guy myself, but that's just my guesstimation from watching the video. And she is so disrespectful to him. She is being disrespectful to an indigenous man, calling him a punk and all this stuff. Why? Strictly because he's calling her out. They can't emotionally handle anybody calling them out for their actions, and they protect. I keep telling you guys, this is bigger than just one or two people. This is a group that have a pact to protect each other no matter what. This is a cult. This is an online mob. I mean, I was talking with one of my friends yesterday. They've been putting my life in danger for a year. Like, I just realized they're trying to get somebody else to do their dirty work for them. And nobody's going to do it because everybody values their freedom in this country a little bit too much. Nobody's going to do what they want them to do.
So, Joe, last night I had asked you about Kayla B and the live went down, so you weren't able to finish your thoughts on that. But okay, so I I didn't come onto TikTok till I want to say it was June of probably or July of 2021. And so I kind of a little late in the game on the whole like Goddess Mia thing and everything that was going on. But I did a little deep dive and I came across Kayla B. She was calling out Antonio Grimes.
Oh yeah.
And from what I saw, the timeline was that she started calling out Antonio Grimes because she was attacked by the Fold because she's a supporter of Goddess Mia. And so this was like she used this almost like, well, you want to attack me about Goddess Mia, what about Antonio Grimes type of thing. And I saw a plethora of videos that she did. Fortunately, her videos, a lot of her accounts and even her backup accounts, she kept track of timelines. So it's
Oh yeah.
pretty as far as timelines went and when she started
Yep.
getting attacked.
I'll give her the credit where credit's due. You're correct.
And but I saw that in that your name was mentioned, and
Oh yeah.
she mentioned you as a person that attacked her for Cuban for calling out the registered sex offender that Cubans
Oh, I could tell you
according
guys
to her,
about.
supported.
I could tell you guys stuff about that whole situation that would spin your heads. That would spin your heads. How I got introduced to him, who it was that introduced me to him. I fully
I
believe
only
looking.
mention him. I only mention him, by the way, only because like I'm putting patterns together of
Yeah. Oh,
protection of predators on this app from the Fold. So that's how that came up upon
So
my.
if you guys want to hear it, or we could save it for another day because it is a little bit detailed, and it is completely involved around Kayla B. There was somebody else, Lydia MNT or MTN or something.
Oh,
And there was a third one. Yeah, there was a third one I can't remember off the top of my head. Don't really know them. I had the most interaction with Kayla, and Kayla's hard ass. I'll say that. She's like hardcore, I should say. And I give her credit because she stood her ground. I still don't really know Kayla. We developed a horrible relationship with each other because of TikTok. But yeah, I'll have to admit, where I did things wrong. I was being a blind follower. I was being a sheep. I was going after all of them blindly for Cuban. I didn't know who they were before that. The whole way that Antonio Grimes came into play was Bruja told me that Kayla and Lydia and all them were going after him, and she explained his story. And he was consistent because I did speak with him several times. I stepped away because of multiple reasons. I don't have proof one way or another, but his story was basically that he got bad advice, and supposedly it was his cousin that was using his computer, and he ended up taking the fall, or getting blamed for it, I should say, not taking the fall like voluntarily, but essentially getting blamed for his cousin doing something on his computer. The Fold was backing it up. As far as, I shouldn't say the Fold was backing it up. Let me correct myself. Bruja, who was part of it, was backing it up, and she was telling me that he was innocent, all this kind of stuff, right? And so I'm going and listening with an open ear because I do know that the system can work against especially black men and black people in this country. I do know that. So, of course, I'm willing to give him an ear, right? I look back on it now and I almost wonder if they were trying to set me up, because I know for a fact Bruja set me up in a lot of ways. And I know Denise was keeping her friendship with me secret to everybody else, whether it was because she was using me, because eventually she knew she would use me even more to try and come after me. I have no idea. There's a lot of shit that I don't have answers to. But the whole reason I went after Kayla B and got involved in that whole mess in the first place was 100% because of Cuban and all of them, and following blindly like a sheep. I believed a lot of things. I was very naive when I came to the internet, because I had only used the internet pretty much in private fashions in the past. So when I came to TikTok, it was pretty much my first time putting myself out there publicly like that.
Okay. I was just curious.
I do feel groomed by these people, Lady
I was only
Guinevere.
curious because I am creating a playlist of just basically like victims of the Fold type of playlist of people who have been attacked by the Fold, and so you came across on my deep dive. So
There's
I
more than
just
just the
wanted to hear your
fold.
side.
There's more than just the fold, just so you know. And if you have an Instagram, reach out to me and I could give you a lot more information and a lot more people that are victims, because we've kind of been trying to do that ourselves, me and another friend, that have been stalked and harassed by one in particular person. I won't mention her name because Blaze's live will get taken down. It's like Lord Voldemort. You mention her name and the lives are taken
I've
down.
heard about. Okay, yes, okay.
Oh, she is horrible. And so on my old account, I was known as somebody that would find pedos, racists, trolls, homophobes. I would find them when they were hiding behind troll accounts, and I would expose who they were. When my account blew up, I just developed a knack for doing that.
So my point,
So
my point in
I
asking
found
you
that.
this, Joel, honestly, is because I wanted to like highlight or point out the fact that this is nothing new of protecting predators.
No, they all know what they're doing, and they're all protecting each other. That's why I said in the comments section before I got up in the box about last night, I think this was a planned deflection to get everybody to stop talking about his BFF. Isn't I Speak very good friends with Patrick? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So wasn't everybody talking about Patrick until two nights ago?
I don't know how much you know of Lisa's story. And Lisa, I don't want to speak to you. I don't want to speak for you, babe. But
I've been learning a lot about it. I knew the side from Cuban's perspective.
there was an instance where Cuban had told Lisa her story about I Speak, and they had put in T. Nathan in the phone call. So Cuban, went into details about her story about I Speak with T. Nathan, and he basically said that he was so upset he wanted to put him in a box. So there came a point where he started going into the box with I Speak and kicking up with him, and we were very confused because he had literally said he wanted to kill him. So Lisa went into the live and was like, didn't you just say you wanted to put him in a box? And the stuttering that happened in that live, like, if you would have seen that live. And so it goes back to my point that there seems to be a pattern of protecting, for some reason, one or another, predators. And I don't know if it's because I Speak had 1.6 million followers or whatever at the time, that they didn't want to taint that, proximity or whatever you want to call it with him. But it just seems like that is also another pattern too, of people wanting to be in proximity of these large creators and wanting to get clout off of them by the stories, Maple Story, whoever story this, that, who has some type of animosity, and then they want to claim it as clout or whatever. I'm just seeing a pattern is my point.
I could point out something else to you too, is that like a lot of people, I've told the story about how my account blew up. It was very organic and very natural, but I do remember very much the point where I was actually sitting exactly where I am now. And I was sitting and I was thinking to myself, do I want to do this? This could make my account blow up. And then I was like, nah, my account won't blow up. Well, sure enough, my account blew up. But it was from the whole April 24th, 2021, his name was Kevin Harp, not Kevin Hart, the comedian. Kevin Harp, the guy that started the whole Grape Day thing. When Landini exposed him, I had contacted the judge he lived with.
I remember this. As a matter of fact, I remember there was another creator who went down Landini's Facebook page and found him saying the N-word.
Who, Landini?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I never saw that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
If I saw that, I would see. And I used to defend this guy. I never saw that, never knew about that until this moment right now. But I also didn't know who he was when I saw that video. I didn't know who he was. That was the first time I was seeing or hearing anything about Landini. I found about the whole Kevin Harp thing because of, believe it or not, Kane Allen, because I used to be a big supporter and follower of Kane Allen's. And so he was the one that I saw the videos from and started following that whole thing.
Landini, I meant to tell you that Landini has a lot of KKK connections and a lot of friends in the Donald Trump family.
I hope not, man. I really hope
No,
not.
I'm
He
telling you,
ghosted me
it's
a
for
long
fact.
time ago. He
I've
ghosted,
been went deep diving on him.
I'm gonna
he
have to go
ghosted
back
me
to my
about a year ago.
screenshots. I'm gonna have to go back to my screenshots from
Cheese Doodle,
2021.
I didn't realize until you said today that you were the one that was asking me about Lydia. But there's,
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
changed I totally revamped my page today.
okay.
Yeah,
I
so
w- I may not have noticed anyway, even if you were still under the same page,
formerly
just
known as
because.
Pull My Finger, now is Cheese Doodle
Oh,
Finger.
okay, okay. I know who you are now.
I am now Cheese Doodle Finger.
Okay, so yeah, when my account blew up, I fully believe that people like Lady Guinevere tried to groom me. Uni, the quote unquote gay anti-racist who's really racist, Scott McFly, and Lady Guinevere. If you
I
guys know who
remember
they are.
that. Wasn't he the one that created First Fair Space?
Well, supposedly King the Dreadhead was, but Lady Guinevere is the one who approached it, and I think she handed it off to him to let him get the attention for it, because I think she knew it was going to get some backlash because she had just gone after the Pride, and she was still going after the Pride, and then two, she I'm sorry, but she's a lost white woman pretending she's indigenous. I'm just speaking very blunt and frank. These are my beliefs. And I have a lot of proof about a lot of this. I was also on the call when she quote unquote discovered she was indigenous, literally on the phone call with her and Uni and Jesse Lee and Scott. I remember how it was like basically agreed upon that, well, it would take a really sick person to claim something like that you're not. And that's just not Lady G. And I'm sorry, I fully believe now, 2+ years later, yes, it is. It is exactly her. That's why she has fraud charges, because she pretends she's something and people she's not. She's got issues. But
So
there are people like her.
again, we're going back to the
Really?
patterns
Looks
of that.
familiar,
Oh,
Joe?
yeah.
So again, we're
Yes, I
going
know
back
who that
to
is. That's Leo.
again, we're
You see
going
that
back.
flag behind him?
Yeah, dude, I don't like that.
So again, we're going back to the patterns of people in the fold and anybody who's in
Screenshot that.
proximity to the fold to protect predators.
100%. They protect each other, and a lot of them are predators. So I fully believe that Voldemort, the one I won't name because she will come in here and get his live taken down. My friend Brandy and I are supposed to be going live to talk about the behaviors, because they're very much of a sociopath and psychopaths. The behaviors are really wild. A lot of the people have charges. A lot of the people have some serious charges, and they're getting pushed by TikTok. They have a lot of followers, whether they buy them or not. I know some of them do. I don't know if all of them do. But I do know that they protect each other no matter what. That's been confirmed by one of them in there who's pretty up in
Which
there.
would explain, Lisa, why Cuban would not tell the truth about what she told you.
No, and she is so mad. They're all attacking me and making up a lot of lies about me right now because I spoke up about what she told me. She literally DM'd me. I guess I forgot to block her on one of my pages, and she DM'd me and she contacted me. She's like, "Why are you lying? Do you guys know, if you follow me, you know I had that video up on a friends only post for like a day. There was no issues on the friends only post. As soon as I put it fucking public, they must be watching me because they were on me like flies on poop. Within like 15 minutes, a half an hour, that video got taken down after I put my page put that video public."
So I'm gonna tell you something, Joe. Right when this story broke out with Lisa, and I don't want to speak for you, Lisa, by the way, but when this whole story broke out with Lisa, and I speak and Mo, the fold was very supportive because they didn't think that Lisa was going to go through with like, don't fuck with me, I speak type of thing, right? Like I'm gonna continue to speak my truth type of thing. And if I remember correctly, Lisa, so just correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember most of the fold was supporting her. As a matter of fact, and I know this for us, so you don't even have to correct me on this, but there was a point where me and Cuban were talking, and I was telling her, like, I can't believe, like, Mo was trying to, like, she's literally on tape saying how she knew it wasn't consensual. And she was like, give me a minute. I'm going to have Rabbi work on it. basically.
Oh, that's who's coming after me the hardest right now, talking all kinds of crap.
And I didn't realize at the time that Cuban is the one that's calling the shots as
Rabbi
far
made a
as
video. Rabbi
yes,
made a
he
video
made
in
two
in
videos. He made
yeah,
two
in
videos,
support of
and
me.
I have them, where he is basically explaining how Mo is a liar and that she did sexually assault Lisa. But when Lisa went against Rico James,
Which is Denise's BFF and has been for years.
well, he helped produce her film.
She reached out to him on Facebook a few years ago and said, hey, this is an opportunity for acting, basically. And I still wonder if they're actors for TikTok. Just saying.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You still wondering?
I happened to come across a YouTube where
Since Cuban has been on TV shows, and El Rico he's into film. He's in the film, like
I know.
whether he's in the professional industry or not. He's been making films himself. So that's why I think another reason is why they recruited me, because when I first got on this app, like I said, I was still acting. I was still acting when I got on this fucking app. I chose to say fuck that contract because I did a whole live. If any of y'all remember this, one of the girls, first of all, one of the guys that was on the show with me, fuck, for the life of me, I cannot remember his name right now, but he's a really big TikTok creator, and he was a new actor to the show. So I didn't even know him until the same year I got on TikTok. Matter of fact, between him and my dance partner, my dance studio partner, they're why I got on TikTok. Like, I didn't even want to be on TikTok before all of it. Noah, fucking something Noah is his name, but he's on actor TikTok. So I believe that when I came on this app, I think that they targeted me. Because like I said, Doja made the whole video about me being chosen. All of the large creators were just jumping in, and I didn't understand the streets of TikTok back then. So I didn't understand all of these, larger creators jumping on my lives, getting people to come and follow me and all of that shit. Like, I didn't get it. None of this shit made sense until recently. And I think they recruited me because they thought that I was more interested in fame, where I'm the complete opposite. I love the art of acting. I don't give a fuck about fame.
And you know what, Felicia? Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. I want y'all to read this DM, right? Read the middle part. Somebody read it out loud. I don't really care.
Yeah, he used to. He's an IT director now, gets contracts for the CIA. That's how he doxes most of the time at Quantico.
You know who they? Well, of course you don't. So this person has gave me credible information, plenty of credible information before. They're anonymous. I don't know who they are, but they're talking about.
I've seen that name before.
Yep. They're talking about the Great Lundini.
Oh, so he's former military.
Mm-hmm. It's just the last part is very interesting.
Well, we know what we do know is that side over there will hire people that are PC savvy or things like that. So we know that much. So I'm just
So he gets government contracts. He has a government contract with Quantico right now.
What's Quantico?
Quantico is where iSpeak's investigation is at.
Oh wow.
Quantico, Virginia. It's where it's where a lot of military headquarters are. I know NCIS headquarters is, if I'm not mistaken, at Quantico as well.
I can tell you that Landini used to not be connected with the fold, and that I even was listening on some of the receipts with Denise recently that I've got on her. I was listening, and she at one point was like, "How come Lundini?" She can't pronounce Landini. She's like, "How come Lundini isn't doing anything for me? These people have been coming after me for months now. They're affecting my business. They're affecting my book. Everything's always about her." She's so like when I go back and I listen to the receipts I have with her, because I've got it all screen recorded. It's the narcissism is unbelievable. Everything is always
It really is.
nobody's been more doxxed than me. She says things like this, and
It really is. It really is.
But don't get it twisted, Joe. Don't
She
get it
used to
twisted.
complain this.
Hold
She
on.
used to
I
complain
don't want
to me
to
all
send
the
on.
time.
she was.
He is definitely connected to the fold.
So he's I don't know if it's the fold as much as you might think it is. So remember,
No,
again,
I don't. You know me. I don't think that stupid word means anything. But he's been in interactions with a lot of these creators on this app.
I think it's more TikTok than it is the fold. I think that these big I know that these big TikTok creators, like we've talked about before, they all have their own personal connections at TikTok, right? Well, they also have meetings. So even though, like I call Lady Guinevere's group the cult with no name, because when she left the Pride, like when I learned about what the Pride was and all that was right after my account blew up. I learned pretty much what the Pride was and about all the conflict with the Pride from Lady Guinevere, Uni Urviata, and Scott McFly. Those are the people that basically and groomed me to be their little attack dog for them, and they convinced me that they were the victims of these horrible people online, that Kicking It, that Vanessa, Goddess Mia, Mikey, and they showed me videos that really, like, I definitely stood against the things that were being said and done in those
Hold on,
videos.
Joe. Can I ask you something? Because okay, now
But I
you're
also
going to
didn't. I also
territory
didn't
that
know.
I've
Who,
been.
it's okay. I just want to say this, but I also didn't know who they were. I really didn't. I was going by what I was seeing in parasocial relationships, and I was super freaking naive. But go
So
on. I'm sorry.
okay, so let me ask you something real
Yeah.
quick then, because like I said, I've been like kind of like deep diving in this whole like
No,
how
other
all
people are
this
talking
started,
about it.
right? So just a quick
Yeah.
question, because when when the whole thing happened with when Goddess Mia was calling out Lloyd, right?
Which
Because this
oh,
was
DA
publicly yeah. Well, okay,
is
let's
that
say
DA
even
Select?
before that, even yeah. So
I
let's say
didn't know
even
that she called him out until that was probably before I got involved with anything.
so okay, so you didn't know any of this until I'm imagining March of 2021 then? That's
No,
when
it
you
was after that. In March of 2021, I was just learning about Pepper and Jason and reaching out to her to help with her event. And
because
that's when
didn't you go on live with Taz? Were you on that
I
live with
did.
that 3 hour live with
That
Taz
was
when they were
Pride. That
calling
was
out Goddess Mia and J
no.
Paul?
No, I wasn't on that one. That I did
Okay.
watch that one. Lady Guinevere was on that one, and that's pretty much right when I met Lady Guinevere, because she started messaging me on Instagram when her account got taken down, because I was following her. I was a big fan. I was learning about all these people. I was also learning about Jason Fox and Pepper Fox and how a lot of these people basically negatively affected her event that she was trying to plan. She lives like a half an hour away from me. The similarities of my friend who was taken out of this world by an officer for being gay, I knew him 19 years total, approximately. And her son was 19 years old when he was
This
taken
was
out of this
around the
world by
same
his friends.
time that Rabbi outed her,
That Rabbi outed who?
Goddess Mia.
I think everybody was at that time. That's why she lost her account. Lady Guinevere lost her account supposedly because of that whole conflict between her and the fold. So that's when I learned about it all. Was right around April 2021.
That sounds about right. Yep.
And then that live that you're thinking of, I was on in fact, I have it on my page. You can go to my page. I posted a little clip of it with Taz. It was actually the Pride panel that she did on YouTube. And there was a bunch of
That was
us.
not that Pride panel that you did with Taz. Was that in March of 21?
No, Pride's in
That was after the whole
June.
entire thing, the panel with Alicia and and
Yeah, that was after. I
Cuban.
wasn't
Oh, that
part
was
of that.
after. Okay, okay,
I
okay.
learned about who Lady Guinevere and all the players was when I asked Lady Guinevere what was going on. She directed me to watch that video, and I remember thinking to myself, God, this is like hours long. I don't want to watch this. But she played on my sympathy so much, like she was such a victim. She's such a professional victim. She played on my sympathy so much. I felt like I had to watch this video and I had to help this little old lady. I still had no idea how old she was. Here I was seeing Lady Guinevere 75. I'm thinking in my head, like, wow, she really looks good for 75 years old, right?
Was this the same time that they were promoting
She was
Fair?
born in 75, but I'm
But
sorry.
was this the same time that they were also promoting Fair Space at the same time?
So it was shortly after that when I learned who she was and I started communicating with her, Scott, and Uni. They basically would pull me onto these group phone
Joe.
calls.
What's wrong, Anna? What do you mean? Why you say it like that? This is Joe. You've been here before.
Who's saying what?
I was reading one of Anna's comments.
Who?
This guy. This is Joe. Joe has been around a lot of this stuff.
Who's saying that? I want to see who
Oh
it
no,
is.
I'm Keto Finger, baby.
Who's saying that? I can't see them. They might have me. I'm here to. Wait, I don't see the comment you're talking about.
I was talking about Anna. She's one of
I
my
don't know, but you
supporters.
already know how I feel about
Go
Anna.
ahead, keep going, y'all.
Oh,
Where's
you already
Anna?
know how I feel about Anna. I don't trust you, Anna.
Oh, there's Anna. I just
In
want to see what
case
she
I
looks
didn't let
like.
you know before, I'm gonna let you know now. Because I remember when you jumped on that live and you said you had been following Lisa for 3 years and you called her all kind of crackheads and shit. So, yeah. Yeah, Anna.
Come bring it to my face. Like, I don't even know you and you have an issue.
Yeah, Anna. I got a screen recorder, Anna. Anna, you don't know. I screen record everything. I got you.
Because, like, I'm just curious. This is the thing. This is exactly the kind of crap that I'm talking about. There's people like Anna. I have no clue who she is. She hates me based off of what other people have told her or snippets of videos. There's actually audio out there right now that is clearly clipped together.
Yeah,
They're
I
trying to make
got screen recordings of her and screenshots of her. I remember I got cursed the fuck out because I was questioning her at one point. Leave her alone, don't question her. I was like, what? I literally just fucking
Anna,
screen
who are
recorded
you?
her the other day. Fucking talking shit. But anyway. Yeah, Anna. I see you. I don't trust you. No, okay. Okay. We'll see about that. Anna. I just remember your cheeks were really sunken in that video when you
Because
pulled up your
if you're
cam.
going to talk poop in the comment section and you don't have the gall to come up and talk with me when I don't even know you and you got an issue with me, it's really weird. It's really weird. You're a sheep. You're blindly following and believing other people with not even ever having a conversation with me or hearing the other side of a story. You blindly believe who you want to believe.
And if you want to come up, let's have a conversation.
Anybody
Okay,
who's been
Anna?
following Anna knows that Anna has been flip-flopping for fucking years. Let's be real.
I mean, I would love to know what her issue is with me. I don't even know her. It's weird.
She
It's
doesn't
weird
have an
as fuck.
issue with you. She doesn't have an issue with you. Her whole thing. Listen,
She
Anna
might have been
is
sent
just.
over here by fucking Lady Guinevere.
Yes,
to distract the
probably.
conversation.
More than likely. She's
I have
one of
no clue.
those. That's the one you need to look at, Tanya. That one right there. You need to look at that one, Tanya.
So Guinevere is very closely. Let's just call her for what she is. Heather is very close to the fold. She's very like at that time. Fair Space was created when she asked me to be a part of that. It was Londini. Let me see if I could remember them all. It was Gwen, Londini, me, Uni, Scott, of course, Lizzie. All the people she introduced to me that later came after me and took part in the smear campaign against me. And Uni started that. And Lady Guinevere and
Scorpion
Lizzie.
part of that? Was Scorpion part of that?
Kevin, fuck yeah.
Okay, I
Oh,
thought
Kevin
so.
played a big part. And Kevin's the one that got Nona Mama involved, who's basically doxing my job. And she's full on harassing me to the point where I've had to get police involved. She tried to call the police on me, basically claiming to tell that accusing me of harassing and stalking her when I simply called her because I already had her phone number. We exchanged numbers. like after she apologized and then went back on her apology. And I called her and I told her to leave somebody else alone. And she, you know, you're putting out other people's information. If you don't want that done to you, don't do it to other people. Because she knew I could find people. I have a knack for it, for finding people. Okay. And she knew I had her information. So I'm like, you know, supposedly that was the whole thing she was afraid of. And the whole reason she wouldn't do a public apology is because she was afraid of Uni putting out her information. But yeah, these people are following. They work together. They flip-flop. Nona was supposedly the one that called out Cuban, but now she's besties with Cuban. She's the one that said that Jenny was, that somebody was a whole white woman, and now she's saying, oh no, she's Afro-Indigenous. They're all magically Afro-Indigenous.
Trust me, Joe, I understand because I was in your place. Like I truly believe that at one point that, you know, Cuban was gonna do the right thing.
I really thought she
and
was.
I was waiting on it. I was waiting on it because, especially because she was behind the scenes, still supporting Lisa against Mo.
Listen,
so
this is why they're coming
really
after
did.
me hard now.
I feel you on that.
This is why they're coming after me hard now, is because I talked about a conversation and I wish I had more receipts on it. I'm still looking to see if I do, because she might have deleted some messages. But I know I also screen recorded pretty much everything a long time ago when I learned I couldn't trust her, which was like October 2021 is when Denise showed me herself that I couldn't trust her. And I slowly, because I know, how she is.
Me, you definitely need to get together, because I stopped trusting her in January of 2021. So you stopped trusting her 3 months before me.
No,
so yeah, we definitely need to share our receipts.
No, after you, because if you stopped talking and trusting her in January of 2021, I was still small potatoes back then.
2022.
January of 22.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, January of 2022, because it was in February of 2022 when I recorded the conversation, because I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, I didn't know that was you.
Yeah, so I trusted her up to January of 2022, and then February of 2022 is when I recorded her, and that's when I was like, yeah, no, but she didn't know that until June of 2022, because again, I was still giving her this. Not that I was giving her I don't know how to explain it. But the way that she was explaining it to me was like, I still support Lisa with Mo, but this and this and that kind of thing. So it was very contradictory for a long time.
When was that? What time frame was that?
Huh?
What time frame was that? Was that December? Because I asked somebody the other day and they said it was around October. In fact, Lisa, I think it was you I asked the other day what time frame that was. And I think you said it was like October or November of 2021, but I don't think she came public with it until about December or January.
I didn't record her till February of 2022.
Thank you. I have to
but
go
it
back
wasn't
and look at that
Incident happened October 30th, and I went live about it December 3rd.
Okay, those are the time frames I need. And then Denise started talking about it around December.
Yeah, and she was very adamant that she heard Mo deflect, that she heard Mo gaslight, that Mo was appropriating monies and all this kind of stuff. She was very adamant. She
flipped 2 days later.
As a matter of fact, Joe, this is the same time when Vanessa was going through her her episode.
I don't want to talk about her. I don't want to talk about her.
I get that, but I have to say it because it's relevant. Because this is the same that all of a sudden Vanessa switched sides, and she basically had Vanessa,
like Tavia did,
put out all the receipts of the monies that she felt that Mo was misappropriating.
I don't even know Mo, but I remember hearing the name.
Closet Talk 101.
Okay. So, see, and Denise, it's funny to hear Denise now saying, oh, and I ghosted you last time because you were trying to drag me into shit. And that's exactly what she was doing. And if you even read it's on my Instagram. You got to go to my Instagram. send me a request, because there's stuff on there that I can't post on or that gets taken down on TikTok. Okay. But there's a conversation that she contacted me recently, and this is why they're coming after me now, because I opened up about what she freaking told me. And she better hope to God I don't find those receipts. I've already posted receipts showing how much of a liar she is. And I wouldn't have done it if she left me alone. So again, it's weird that Rabbi's out here telling me to leave his friends alone. I'm not going to shut the fuck up just because they want me to. And the harder they come at me, the more I'm going to talk. I already told them, just to make it clear, I'll say it again. You know, if I can get justice for James and get that officer put behind bars, I'll get off the app. So the fact that they're trying to stop me from that, they should be trying to help me, because they ultimately want me off the app. So, okay, you want me off the app, help me get justice for James, and then I'll get the fuck off the apps. That's that simple.
Well, I just saw a post that you did where you played some voice memos or whatever. And I asked you, I don't know if you answered me, but I asked you because in that voicemail, which happened to be just a few days ago that she reached out to you.
Exactly.
She said, it was something about SA. So I'm wondering, did she also tell you that she was SA?
She said that, stop lying, Joe. You would be the last person that I would reach out to about anything to do with an essay or something like that. Maybe now, that's true now. But back then, I mean, I've also posted receipts where she's like, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Her and I used to be very friendly with each other. I used to ride hard for her.
So who did she say the essay her back then?
Kayla B can testify to that.
But who did she say essayed her back then when you were writing hard for her back then? Who did she say essayed her?
For like 2 days, she said the same thing that Polisa said, is that, and I don't even remember if she said that it was iSpeak or if she just said somebody when they were all at a, like some Airbnb where they were all meeting or something. Was that what it was, Polisa?
I don't ever remember Cuban ever coming out, and the only thing that she ever
privately.
This was private conversations. She just said that
private conversation. Yeah. So in the beginning, hold on.
And she used to talk with me. Like, she had my number. I don't know why she saved it and acted like she could only reach out to me by stalking me on the internet. Weirdo. Like, she acts like she's such
Anna,
a badass, but yet she's running scared from Ratchetness. She's offered
what
to.
You want, Anna?
Oh yeah, Anna's here.
Anna?
Let's be respectful, though. I want to hear it. I want to hear what her problem is with me. I don't know her.
Right. What you want, Anna?
So the truth is like, Cuban told me about what happened to her before I ever mentioned to her what happened to me. We were having a conversation about the protest in California. And Cuban said something to the effect of, I'm not even going to go into what iSpeak did. So me knowing what I knew that he had done to me, I was perked at that moment. Like, what iSpeak did, what did he do? And that's when she went on to tell me that he assaulted her that night. So I was like, I believe you. And I'm going to tell you why I believe you. And then I went on to tell her what he did to me that night. And then I went on to have a talk with Closet Talk about it because, and here's the thing, a lot of people think that I was bringing back up what Closet Talk did the first time. That's really not what that was. It was what she did that night with iSpeak that made me rethink what she did the first time to me in Vegas. Because I had forgiven her for that. But now you've made another action that to me is detrimental to my safety, my boundaries. Like, you've crossed them once again. So I have every right to look back at that situation. But I never went to Cuban to say, I want to go tell Cuban about this SA story. That's not how it happened. Cuban and I were talking, and she brought up her SA story first.
She was mad. I remember her being mad because, quote unquote, I shouldn't say quote unquote because I don't remember the quotes, but I remember it was very close to something like somebody else was telling her story about her being SA'd. and that somebody else was essayed. Like, I didn't really know who you, Closet Talk, I didn't know who a lot of people were back then. And the last thing I was interested in was getting to know some other group because of what I was now going through with uni and the group that I had met and what the F they were putting me through. Like, so I didn't have an interest, but I knew Cuban. She was one of the people I stayed in touch with even after the smear campaign started against me. And she even said she didn't let a lot of people know about her talking with me. And now I see why. Because she did open up to me about a lot of shit. And she did tell me that she was mad somebody else was telling her story about being SA'd. And then I remember, like I said, that's about the time frame that I started seeing a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of lies, and she screwed me over and she took credit for something I did and like to push herself into the fold or towards that way or something. She just started moving really foul, and I saw all this and I saw lies, and I'm like, I can't trust her. I can't believe her. And I knew I had to start backing away slowly, because I know if I just like suddenly blocked her one day, removed her one day without backing away slowly, she would get suspicious and I would become a target of hers. And I was like, already, I'm at the point.
What was the time frame of that? What was the time frame of that? Do you remember?
That would have been, so I started, it was October 4th. I remember that date. That was the date that, if you know who Chucky is, that was the date that I finally got Denise to expose Chucky behind that troll account. I had known for months, but I guess that troll account finally went after somebody that they cared about. Denise had known that troll account. She had known it had been harassing me. She knew I figured out it was Chucky. But until it affected them, she didn't care. And then she asked me for the video, and I gave her a copy of my video. She's like, no, I need the original without you in it. she needed the original without me in it so that she could present it like she discovered it to T. Nathan, because that account was bothering T. Nathan and the elders in the fold. So T. Nathan made a video thanking her for that. Cuban, of course, got like several hundred videos made about, I'm exaggerating, but several videos made for her by other people about that account. And shortly after, she was added to the fold. So it was October 4th that I started seeing through her, but it was probably somewhere between then and several months later when I actually like decided, okay, there's been like very little interaction. I can just remove her now. Because she would I even have this screen recorded too. She would reach out to me like, almost like I think she was possibly nervous or something. Like, she knows what she did. She knows damn well what she did. And I even mentioned to Bruja about what she did during the time that I wasn't talking to Cuban. And Bruja's excuse was, oh, she was trying to protect you. They all make themselves out seem like they're the biggest heroes in the world and like they're the biggest activists and they do the most for everything. Meanwhile, a perfect example is other ones that just support them that do this, right? But yet, if you guys remember the whole thing that I was talking about before Fair Space, before I met Lady Guinevere, it was when I was helping somebody because I had something to relate to them with. Pepper. Okay? I was boots on the ground for that. I helped her out a lot. So did a lot of other people. And she threw me and other people to the wayside. And I'm sure I'm going to hear about this. I'm sure it's going to get back to her. Pepper even reached out to me recently during Pride Month and thanked me. And I could flash a screenshot of this up if she tries coming after me again. Because she came after me once before and I've tried contacting her since she sent me that text message. She won't respond because she knows what she did to me. They want help for everything that they do, but they will cause harm to other people that are just seeking justice for a victim. They will cause harm and make victims out of other people and then still play like they're the heroes and they're the victims. And my friend Brandy and Brandy, are you in here? Brandy and I were talking about this earlier, and she looked it up. There's actually a name for this. It's like victim abuse or something like that. Oh, Anna dropped out. I still wanted to hear what Anna had to say, damn it. Or is Anna just paused?
Yeah, I was going to let y'all finish so y'all can get to y'all, whatever Greg had. I don't know. I see it's about to go left.
Yeah, I don't want it to. I don't want it to left for you, but I'm curious what Anna's issue is with me.
And I'm going to let you speak. Go ahead, Anna. We listening.
Yeah, go ahead, Anna.
All right, we're not here to attack. Okay, so let's just get to
Yeah,
the
hey,
point.
Anna, were you not in
Let her,
Kappa's
let her,
live talking shit about
let her,
Lisa?
go
Go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Go.
Let her
All right,
talk.
my bad, my
Let's
bad.
let her talk.
You want to hear what
Everybody
her
go on
issues?
mute.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
let Anna speak.
I mean, I got the data, so.
We can't hear you, Anna, if you're talking. I'm not sure. You're not on mute. If you need, just drop down and come back in.
Sunken cheek, Anna. I remember when you cammed up. Sunken cheek, Anna.
I mean, can we just let her try and speak though, or is she just here to screen record in the box?
I'm not sure. She was writing in the comment section saying she's here, but I don't know if her microphone is working. If you got the Bluetooth on, turn it off.
I mean, are we gonna act like we don't remember? I called Anna out months ago.
Exactly.
Like,
So
are we
because
gonna
me and
forget?
you talked about this, just me
And
and you
Alicia
in our
defended
own
her.
private chat. Exactly.
I don't remember that.
Sylvie.
I don't
Yep.
remember her. I'm sorry. I don't know what her issue is with me.
That's okay. You don't have to remember her, Joe, because it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with Polisa and her joining Kappa's live and camming up with her sunken ass, meth ass cheeks. I remember that, right, Sobi? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Anna, are you just creeping?
Yep.
That's weird. Like that, Anna, you're supposed to be an adult here. We're giving you, like, everybody's giving you an opportunity to come up and speak, and you're not saying anything.
Man, show those pretty little sunken cheeks you did before, Anna. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna hop out because I did tell my friend that I was gonna go
I
live with
just
him.
dropped. She'll come back when she need to. All right, my bad. Go ahead, y'all.
But anyway.
Oh,
All right, Joe. Take it easy.
I've been, all I know is that I've been trying to follow up and kind of like deep dive in this whole story.
Brandy, you want to come in if you want?
Unless Brandy wants to. Yeah, that's my friend that
Brandy
I was
wants. If she wants to come in, she can come in.
Wait, okay. So can I ask about Brandy? So is Brandy the girl who is like, I guess half Hispanic or something like that?
No,
And she
Brandy.
was talking, and she
Yeah,
was
bring
talking
Brandy
about,
up. She's not. Don't listen to what other people say.
Wait. She was talking about, hold on. She was talking about his, I guess like spiritual practices, and that Jenny went after her and were like, you don't know about Jenny, like spiritual practices, and that's how the whole thing started, because she was a friend of yours, and so Jenny, Selena the Fold, aka, attacked her.
See, I'm not going to
as an
mention the name
excuse.
because she'll come in here and take down Blaze's live.
Oh, okay.
Don't mention her name. Just call her. Call Voldemort.
But am I right though? That's what I heard.
Yeah, Brandy's.
Nobody worry about that, Joe. We cool around here. We got plenty of pages.
Brandy's never claimed to be half Puerto Rican. They claim that just to put a bad image about Brandy. Brandy, if Brandy could come up, that would be cool. Because I hate telling other people's stories, but she's a good friend and she knows I'll like speak and try to do right, and she could always correct me.
So Brandy is another victim of the Fold, is what you're saying?
100% of Celine, of Kane Allen. It's not just
I'm
the
gonna
Fold
reach
though.
out
This
to
is
you,
what
Brandy, because like I said, I'm putting a playlist together. I'm telling
This
you,
is-
it's literally called "The Victims of Fold."
So it's not
I'm gonna
just
reach out to you.
But it's not just the Fold, and I think Brandy will tell you that too. It is bigger. That's what I keep trying to tell everybody. I don't think this is just one group. This is a lot of put this out to people. I've been studying this group and these people for like almost or over 2 years now. This is where Landini, the Fold, and let Landini come. Like, I wish Landini would go live with me and address this or something, because he's, like I said, he goes to me. He used to go live with me when I could benefit him. That's the truth. When my account was blowing up because of the dual action that we had, and even though we didn't know who each other was, I remember his shock, like, you don't know who I am? And this is the same mentality that they all have, like they're superstars because of this app, and they all work together to bring this unity for them, essentially. But the funniest thing of this all is how they call everybody else colonizers, but they are all trying to colonize this app. And the proof is in the pudding when you have a big creator from a big group telling people that has 1 million followers to not just go deplatform others, but deplatform their followers too. The example from last night's live, anybody that even spoke anything that could be a slight clue that they weren't on the side of the host was getting booted. Like,
Exactly.
if you don't think and follow exactly within their cult, boom, you're gone.
Sunken cheek is back.
Anna, do you have anything to say to me, or what's your issue with me, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, Anna, because we know that you were.
Anna, you are in the box. What are you talking about? Let you in? You're in the box. I don't know what's going on with your TikTok. Close the app all the way out. Come all the way out the app and try to come back in, because we can't hear nothing you're saying. I'm gonna just let you down. Just close the app all the way out and then come back in the live, because it's not winning.
Just let Meth Cheeks down. Just let Meth Cheeks down.
Where'd Joe go? He left? Oh, there you go.
Come over here acting like she's brand new. Get out of here. Brand new. You ain't brand new, girl. We Anyway. Like, I literally got into Alicia with almost, not really, but I got into Alicia with it, like, because of Anna. Because I was calling out Anna, and she was like, "Don't call out Anna." I was like, "Okay, I won't call out Anna."
Exactly. So you do remember, Paul, because that's the same thing. That's why I said Alicia was defending her.
Thank you, whoever did that.
Yep,
Exactly.
Yep. You know, so because me and you were talking about it in the back scene.
I don't even know. I find it really weird when people have such a big issue with me and they don't even know me. I've seen so many people, big supporters or possibly members of the
I
fold.
don't have an issue with you. I'll be honest with you. The only issue I have with you, Joe, is that you have not apologized publicly to Kayla B.
Kayla. Is she still on the app?
Well, the last thing I remember her posting was in April. And she literally, like, when I was, because, you know, I don't know Kayla B. I personally don't know Kayla B.
So let me take this opportunity now, if anybody knows her.
I remember Kayla B. I remember her.
So Kayla, I'll do this right now.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody has a way to get this to Kayla B. If somebody could record this and get this to her, if you know her, I would greatly appreciate it, because honestly, I didn't know her. I didn't have any reason to go after her other than for Cuban. And because it was requested, it was told upon me that she was harassing them and presented in a way that I felt people that I was friends with at the time were being victimized by her. And I didn't look at her. I didn't give her the opportunity that I'm requesting from other people myself right now, if I'm going to be honest and be a decent human being and do this right. Like, the thing that I'm asking others to do for me right now, I didn't do for her. That was wrong of me. I was being brainwashed, in my opinion, by people, and I was very naive and let them. Unknowingly, I felt like I was groomed by a group of people that are part of different cults that work together. And I was very ignorant, and I did a lot of things towards a lot of people, not just Kayla B., but she was a big one that I went after for others blindly, and I shouldn't have done it, because at the end of the day, I think she was standing up for what she believes was right, which is standing against somebody who is pretending they're somebody different from what they are. Excuse me.
Someone who's pretending to be black.
I wanted to let Brittany talk, y'all. She came up. I didn't want to.
Oh, yeah. Who came up?
Brandy, who's that?
Oh, Brandy. Hey, Brandy. Hey, love.
Oh, I'm here. No, that's the Brandy you were talking about. Go ahead, Brandy. Tell us your story with Celine.
Let's not use her name, though.
I just want to put out there that I've never.
Don't worry about that, Joe. We good over here. Don't worry about it.
I just don't want your life getting taken down. Like, it's a good topic and it's going over.
Brandy's got a story when it comes to Celine.
She does.
Let me tell
Celine stalks her minor kid. Let her tell you. I'm sorry.
I just want to put out there that I've never claimed to be Hispanic. Celine tries to say that I did. My children are 100% Hispanic. I am not. She does attack my children. She does. She's a creep when it comes to my kids. Like, there's no other way to explain that. She's overly obsessed with my children. She overly sexualizes my children. She blasts them all over her YouTube, Instagram,
Wait,
TikTok.
100%.
can I ask you something
Yes,
really
ma'am.
quick? How did she find out who you were in the first place? Like,
To
how?
be honest with you, I really don't know. She just
No.
popped out of nowhere.
All Brandy did was comment. Remember, Brandy? That was when she came after me for Kane, and all you did was comment, and you became a target instantly.
I commented on one of Joe's videos. What one of his videos? I couldn't even tell you. I want to say it was probably something about Kane.
It 100% was. She admitted that.
Yeah, but
She
other
did. She
than
came
that,
after us for him.
other than that, I honestly, like, I had never heard of this person before, and just out of the blue, poof, here she is. And then she got really upset because I won't back down to her. And she instantly just started targeting my children because I refused to back down to her, is really what happened.
So
Yeah.
can I ask you something, Brandy?
Yes,
Has
ma'am.
anybody in the fold or the proximity of fold or anybody against the fold giving you a platform before? I'm just asking because, like, it just seems like you were pretty targeted.
I still am very targeted. And as for giving me a platform, what do you mean?
So what is your purpose? What is your purpose? I guess that's what I'm asking.
I would say my purpose is just to, like, show this chick that I'm not going to back down. She can go after my children all she wants. She's showing who she is by being a coward and attacking children. But I'm not going to back down from her.
Okay. The only reason I ask is because there's a lot of fucking white people who use the platform as an excuse to attack people of color. So that's the only reason why I asked.
Yeah, no, that's
Not the
absolutely not.
situation, But they've tried to make it seem like it, especially with Brandy and me, because I've never seen Brandy go after anybody for their skin color, nor have I. But they use that as an excuse. Like, they will attack somebody like Celine. So Celine will attack Brandy, and then she comes back in your hands and says, "You're attacking me. I'm a woman of color. I'm indigenous. You're attacking indigenous people." Then they get IBTL, who are strong supporters of the fold and work side by side with the fold to basically amplify that message and push forward the mob mentality. Sorry.
They have attacked my children's skin color 100%. She's called my 14-year-old child some pretty derogatory, negative
Who
names
is she? Who is
against
she? Who are you talking about?
Jennifer Torres.
Oh, okay. Is that Selena the Fold?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, she's called my son some pretty derogatory names used against Native Americans. And what I don't understand about her, she claims to be Miss Puerto Rico. My children are Puerto Rican. Like, my children are Puerto Rican. My husband's Puerto Rican. And anything and everything I say, it's, oh, that was racially motivated. What the hell did I say that was racially motivated? Nothing. I said, you're stupid. That's racially motivated. No, that's just speaking the truth. You're stupid.
Okay.
She means Jenny,
Yeah. Sorry.
clearly.
There's just so much, because she's been doing this for 8 months. Like,
Yeah,
8
it might
straight
even be
months.
9 at this point. Like, it's
There-
hard to
there's-
keep track. She keeps going. She's relentless. We stopped talking about her.
First meet her,
Me or Brandy?
Brandy?
I honestly, like I said, I don't know. She came out of the blue and made this video. I'd have to go back and look at it. She made this video talking about, I'm not the one. I am Labyrinth. I am Celine, blah, 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 blah,
my
blah.
God, with the
And
funny filter
all
face.
I did was I cut it because the way she edited it, her eyes looked stupid as hell. And so I cut it there and then put in a part where it says lazy eye. And that was it.
Brandy, fire back.
I asked because typically the fold and fold adjacents tend to act like they go after people based on racial disparity, something like that. So they go against them for something like that.
Yeah, but the
So
people that
that's why I'm asking, like, how did you come into contact with her? Did
that
you
was
say something, or did you make a video,
she
or
first
maybe
commented
perhaps were you affiliated with someone that they didn't like? Like, I'm
me.
just trying
I
to
was
make it
She was
affiliated too.
affiliated with
I'm
me.
trying to make it make sense. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
She was
Just trying to make
affiliated
it
with
make
me.
sense.
I
She made
commented
it.
on one of Joe's videos, and she, like I said, she came out of nowhere. I had no idea who Jenny was at all. And all of a sudden, she's making these videos like, I'm not the one, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you're not the one, can you point me in the direction of the one? Like, I've snapped back at her from the very beginning, and she hasn't liked that.
She didn't like Brandy standing up to herself because, like we were saying, Celine was coming after me for Kane. I had hours of conversations with Jennifer, Celine, hours of conversations, like 5 hours. That's why it's like it blows my mind that she still wants to even try and communicate. I'm done trying with her. She got me to a point where I yelled, and I don't like to yell, and I don't typically yell, but she got me there after hours of ridiculously. But she admitted during that conversation that she started.
You went local. You went local
Oh,
like
I
me.
did go a little loco. So, un poquito.
I've done that with her many times.
Trust me, I understand. I've been there.
She drives people crazy, and I think she enjoys doing it. She basically admitted she enjoys harassing other people. So she came after me for Kane Allen because Kane Allen made a video accusing me of going after all these queens, and Kane lied, and thousands, and exaggerates and all this. He does. He puts out false narratives, and a bunch of people believe it, and he tags everybody and their mother to use that mob mentality. So he did that. He got a bunch of people to come after me. Thank God, in today's modern day and age, you can set things on TikTok to not allow people to harass you the way they used to be able to openly do so. And I have my settings where I like them. I don't allow that shit anymore. I don't care if they call me pussy, whatever. I'll say whatever the fuck I want and run my platform the way I want to. I don't care. And they've learned that. But Celine decided that she was going to step in for her friend Kane and start harassing me. Now, when she first started coming after me, and Brandy made Brandy made a comment and she started targeting Brandy too. At that time, I didn't put two and two together. I forgot that, like, shoot, back in the uni days, and I still have the text message from Uni. I could probably bring it up. Uni actually told me to follow Celine. He's like, follow this person. Again, it's just weird how they tell you to follow the very people that they later use to come after you. They make targets out of people, and this whole thing of them going after people for race, and supposedly some of the times that might be true, but they also do that just to people they don't like, and they make up stories to target them. And let's face it, I mean, Brandy and I could be easy targets for them, especially if they're using mob mentality. We fit the narrative of what they want to target. So Brandy only fired back. Brandy only fired back at Celine, and she didn't like that. And especially because Celine wants to claim she's Afro-Indigenous. So you say anything to her and you're going after a Afro-Indigenous woman, right? You respond to her. You're supposed to just lay down and take whatever abuse she gives. If she doxes your family, if she
But it doesn't
puts out
count
your
when she goes
address,
after my children, though.
goes
that
after your
are the
kids.
same
Well,
nationality.
personally, my own personal experience with you on that whole side over there was like I was good until I released the recording. Then I was no longer good because I went against the narrative that they've been trying to feed me. I really did feel like I was they were trying to recruit me. It felt that way to some point because the minute that anybody that I was with, they were trying to recruit to be with. But then at some point, I guess her and Mo all of a sudden were good. And now I was on the other side of the spectrum. So anybody that I was friends with that was against Mo at the time, the same time that she was with against Mo, all of a sudden became part of the we got to try to recruit them and send them messages and show them that we're not lying or like trying to convince the other side, basically. So I don't know if you guys want something similar.
She always is telling me, she's like, show me where I did this. Show me where. Why do I have to keep showing you? I've already showed you. Because she reached out to my oldest son to verify who his father was. She's like, show me the receipts. I did. I'm only going to do it one time. Like, if you didn't see it or you're going to act like you didn't see it, that's not my problem.
What's Anna?
Are you talking about like she was trying to tell you to show receipts about your your DNA with your husband? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
She wanted me to prove that she reached out to my oldest son to see who his father is. She wanted me to show the screenshot
So
of that.
I think I heard your story before because, you know, again, like I was telling Joe, I've been going down the rabbit hole. So I think before, if I'm not mistaken, Celine went after you because you questioned her in retaliation when she went after you because you supported Joe about your spiritualism. And
No, she was questioning my son because my son is pagan. And that's how she was trying to say that my son's not Puerto Rican because he's pagan. And I was like, so that's not for you to say what religion
wait a
my
minute.
son is.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
look at the
Okay.
comments. People want to hear
That
Anna.
makes sense to me. That makes sense to me because if we're gonna
Can
really
you
think
guys
about
hear
it,
me?
we can hear you. I can hear
Okay.
you anyway. I
All right,
can
let's
hear
let
you.
Anna go. She's been up here for a while. I'm gonna let her speak in. Y'all, let's keep
Please,
it. Let's keep it, to a minimum, y'all. Jeez.
please.
Yes.
You know I respect you, right?
Gotcha. Go ahead, Anna. The floor is
Anna?
yours.
Is that
All right.
Anna?
All
Let's let her
right.
speak though.
All right.
Pull.
I'm
We
trying
gonna
to
let her
get
talk.
I'm trying to
Let her
get
speak.
I'm
Pull.
trying to get
Let
on
her speak
screen.
though.
Pull. Let her talk. We
I'm
gotta let her
just
talk. Let's give her
asking.
opportunity. All right.
I
Everybody
am
go on
just
mute, but Anna.
asking. I didn't say
I'm
anything.
I'm trying to get on screen because I want you all to see who I am. Why can't I do that, please?
All right. Hit your profile box. You should see the menu pop up.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Cheese
Hold on.
Doodleus. I really want to hear what she has to say, though. Please, I don't want to antagonize her off the screen. I don't know her, and I'm really curious why she has an issue with me.
You see your menu pop up and when you hit your profile box?
I don't have an issue with you.
Okay.
Why did you say that I have an issue with you?
Because you were saying when I came up in the box, you were saying things like this guy.
Who the F is this guy? That's what made me even read it, and I ain't gonna hold you.
It's this guy.
Oh, okay.
Why
Because
would
I
you
didn't
say it
know.
like that, though? Why would you say it like that, Anna, though?
Because I didn't know
So
who he was.
aggressively.
Okay,
So
so
aggressively.
Anna, are you from New York?
Did that hurt you?
No, it didn't hurt me. I thought you said
I
this
am
guy.
so from New York. Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah, I
Do
wouldn't take
sound like
offense to
I'm
that.
from New York?
No, it's just that even if I didn't hear you talking, just that, who the F is this guy? That's like a very Northeast thing to say, I think. But I grew up in the Northeast. So if I saw the whole sentence,
Oh
I
my
probably
God.
wouldn't have thought twice about it. I thought because I had only heard it, I thought you said this guy and that was it. Like, what the hell's wrong
Right,
with me?
right.
Okay.
Listen,
So it was a misunderstanding.
Joe, me and you
I
on the same
just
page.
was like, who?
I don't know Anna. That's all. That's why I
Wait a
just wanted to know
second.
what was my
Wait a
issue.
second. Like,
But I'm
everybody just says, like, who the fuck is this person? Who the fuck is this guy? That's not,
okay. I get it.
that's not necessarily
Got
an
it.
insult.
Got
You're
it.
gonna
Yep. No,
take it
I'm not
as an
insulted. I
insult?
don't know you though. No, I'm not insulted.
Right. So who the fuck am I, right?
Yeah, who the fuck are
Yeah, I
you?
mean,
Because
who the
if
fuck
you
are you? Because I heard other
remember,
people saying
you
that.
were in
Who are you?
Papa's live
Pull.
saying,
Pull.
okay,
You ready to
all right,
go off?
all
I
right.
know
Yeah,
you
who
are.
the
I'm gonna
fuck are
give you.
you? Okay, okay,
I'm gonna give you
my
the
Wow.
bad,
opportunity.
my bad. You know what, Anna? Go ahead, talk, Anna.
All right. Who the fuck are we,
Yeah,
right?
who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are we?
That's right. Who the fuck are you? That's the same as what the fuck I asked. That's right. Who the fuck are you? Go ahead. Keep going.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Go ahead. Who the fuck are you?
I was just gonna say,
Yeah, say it.
I was talking about, I want to for a minute.
Yeah, you better watch what you say about Lisa, but go ahead.
Oh, let her
I
talk.
know what
Please
I'm
go on
going to
mute for
say
a
about
second so she
Lisa.
can just say
You
what she
better
needs to say.
watch what you say
Please.
about Lisa
No, you better watch
because
what the fuck you say about
Oh,
Lisa.
please
You
go
better
on
watch
mute
what
for
the
a
I've
fuck
second
been
and let
you
her
say
talk,
friends.
about
please.
Lisa. But go
I
ahead.
Paul, please,
But go
please,
ahead.
Paul.
But go ahead. You better watch what the
Please
fuck
go on mute.
you
Please,
say.
Paul.
But go ahead.
Paul, please go
Paul,
on mute
everybody's
for a
asking you,
second.
please, love.
I've been
I'm sorry, Paul. I had to mute you.
I've been Lisa's friend. I've been Lisa's friend, and I have her back. And everything that she has said
Please
has
say a
been the
supporter because
truth.
I can't use that word friend.
I got you though.
I just let's just because I don't really know you. I done seen some of your fucked up comments, so I'm just trying to give you the opportunity to talk.
Kalisa,
But we are not friends.
we've been friends since
We might be
2020. What are you
mutuals, but that
talking
doesn't
about?
mean we're friends. 2020, I wasn't even on here in 2020.
Okay, 2021. I have always had your back. I have always spoke for you. Blaze is my witness.
Anna,
I have always
Anna,
had
do you
your
know what a
back.
par- do you know what a
Period.
parrot? Do you know what a
Joe,
parasocial
just let her finish. I
Sorry.
don't want to get her interrupted. Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Period. That's it. I've always had your back. Always. From day one. From day one. I've always had your back. Blaze, have I not?
I'm sorry. Who are you talking about, police or me?
I'm talking about Polisa. I've always had her back. Have I not?
I can't attest to that because I don't know for
right.
certain. I'm not going to say that for certain, but you know, behind the scenes, and I know
We've
that you
had
said
conversations.
I've seen comments myself that were not in support of me. I saw the live, like where you were
I
in that live.
remember.
I remember the live when Alicia was protecting you, and I was telling Alicia that you have been talking shit about me. So
What did I
we
say?
may have been mutuals,
No,
but
no,
we've
no, no,
never been
no.
friends. And I cannot say that you have always supported me because I've seen those comments and those videos myself, Anna. We done
Oh my
talked about this
God.
before. We done went down this alley before.
Oh my God. I am so sorry. What did I say? What did I say? I apologize. What did I say? What did I say? What did I say that was so...
I ain't gonna lie to you. It's too old for me to remember exactly
damn.
what you said, but I
What
know
did
we
I
had a whole
say
conversation
that was
about it
so... I ain't
because
gonna lie to
Alicia
you.
was
It's too old for me
defending
to
you.
remember exactly what you said. Well, if I said anything that was negative towards you, I apologize. I don't remember saying anything negative towards you, but if I did, I apologize. I'm sorry.
all right. Anybody? I mean, and you got anything else? I mean, I don't know what this whole conversation is even really about, but I wanted to let y'all have it. You already, worked it out with Joe.
Polisa, did you hear me?
I heard you.
Do you forgive me? Like, if, even though I
Ma'am.
don't,
No, ma'am.
even though,
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say from this. Like, this is
I
deja vu
just
for me.
want,
We've done that before. You act like
I
you didn't know what we
don't,
were talking about the last time when we sat there and watched you cam up on the live and talk your shit about me. So I'm
oh
not
my
here to argue
God,
with you. I'm not here to
I
argue
did
back and
not.
forth with you. It is what it
I
is.
cammed
I've
up
never
and
taken you
talked
as a real
about you.
supporter because I've seen you flip flop.
I cammed up and talked about you.
Yes, ma'am, you did. Yes, ma'am, you did. I don't
Damn.
know. I don't know if you
Honestly, at
if
this
you
point, it
just
is what
don't
it is,
remember
like she
this
said.
time
I'm
or whatever, but
sorry.
I do because I
I'm
specifically
sorry.
remember us talking about it. I remember Alicia defending you. I remember telling Alicia in that
Oh
live,
my
like, I've
God.
seen this woman talk shit about me. And you were in that live saying, I support police, I support police. I mean, that's why I'm not mean to you. It don't even make no sense to me. Like, you like any other person that comments on my shit. I comment, I keep it moving. Like I don't. There are a lot of y'all I do
Yeah.
not consider friends or real supporters, and I'm not trying to be mean
Listen,
here. None of that. I just know what I seen. I know what I saw you do. I know the screenshots
I
that you're in talking shit about me. So
I
I don't know what to
I
say, but
I am so sorry if at one point, uh, excuse my New York accent, but if at one point in my life, I honestly don't believe that I would say anything negative about you. But if I did, and if you felt it, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I am so fucking sorry.
So it's like it's for me. So okay, it's
All
6.
right, all right,
No, not you, Anna. I'm talking about my boy Sobi.
all right. But did you hear what I said? Like, I'm so fucking sorry. I feel so
I
bad.
mean, I heard you, and you don't have to keep repeating your
Oh,
apology.
but
I
I
mean, I'm
will
not.
repeat it.
I'm
I will
no, I'm just
repeat it.
saying. I know you keep repeating. I just don't want you to keep repeating yourself for no reason. Because I hear you. I do.
And
I just there.
can I
I don't
ask you
feel
a
anything
question?
from it. So
Can
I'm
I
just
ask you?
letting you talk.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you forgive me if you thought that I was?
No, ma'am.
Hell
No.
no. Hell no. Hell no.
Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. Why I got real quiet?
Okay. It
Uh,
got
Where else is
quiet.
supposed to
It
go?
got
I wanna
quiet. It
hold
got
on, and I'm gonna let
quiet
Pull.
because
Hold on,
it
and I'm gonna
got
let somebody else
quiet.
speak.
It got quiet because I was never wrong to her, but I just apologized just to be decent. And then she was not decent right back to me. All right.
Well, honestly, Anna, you got it. You can't fault somebody for not accepting an apology. That's not something
No,
you can
that's
get mad
okay.
about.
You're right. You're
Doesn't
right.
mean
I
that
mean,
You're
you're
you
right.
gave it
innocent.
right. If you meant
Yes.
it, that's all that should matter. Because
Yeah,
an
and her not
apology
accepting
really
it.
isn't for the other person; it's for yourself. So you shouldn't even take it that
Absolutely.
way.
Absolutely.
Her not
You're
accepting it is not her
absolutely.
being any kind of negative way, though, either. Just because she didn't
You're.
accept it isn't something negative that she did to you.
Because
That's
I'm not up here to bash you or talk shit about you
yeah,
or none of that shit.
that's
Like I'm not.
like there's
I'm not gonna
animals and
indulge in that. I
situations
just know
like
what I
that.
saw you do, and I do. I mean, I have my
Saw
reasons for
me
not forgiving
do.
you. I'm
What
not
did I
gonna go through all of that.
do?
I just you apologize, girl.
Oh my
I done
God.
already said I'm not gonna go through this again. This is literally deja vu. We done
I
been here, did
I
that,
didn't do
and I'm
anything
not gonna
wrong
do
to
that.
you.
I just
I
do not
didn't do
accept your
anything wrong
apology.
to
I
you.
appreciate you giving it though.
And
Yeah.
I will say this, Anna.
And
You should,
I
what you
just
did, it
I
doesn't matter
didn't,
anymore. It's
but
behind
I
everybody.
didn't do anything wrong to her. I I didn't do anything wrong to her. I didn't do anything wrong to her.
But Anna, you're invalidating her feelings when you say that.
Okay.
It's really not
All
your
right.
choice. I mean, you apologize, right? And like I said, that
Yes.
apology is
Yes.
for you.
I'm so sorry.
I
Yeah.
would just,
That's exactly why I can't accept it. You sitting there saying I didn't do anything wrong to her, but
But
that's your perception.
I feel like
That might be your perception. But I feel like if you support me and then you in a box talking shit about me, that's not really support. Which I mean, I ain't mad at you. That's you got your prerogative to support whoever you want to. But
you might
you
have
know,
been mistaken for somebody else.
ma'am,
don't.
that's same
Because
profile
we
picture and
were
everything, same name, same
when we
profile.
were in boxes, talking to each other. We were in boxes. Me and you, Polisa, me and you were in boxes talking to each other.
Whose boxes?
And
Whose boxes were we in?
you just said we were in boxes.
I said you were. I didn't say me. Why would I be? What? I said you were on camera in somebody's live talking shit about me.
I was never
We
talking
have
shit about you.
screenshots of you in people's comment sections talking shit about me.
the screenshot.
So when we
Because
were
I
over
never
there
talked
and
shit
you were in
about
the
you.
comment section,
have
I
never-
told Alicia
I have
you were not a
never-
supporter of
I
mine.
have never talked shit about you.
Okay, girl,
have
I'm not gonna go.
always-
Okay, I'm done. You can
Show
go ahead and
me-
talk, say whatever you
all right,
want
so-
to, but I'm not
Go
gonna
ahead.
argue
All
with you
right,
about this.
Anna, all right, I'm ending this
Lisa,
conversation. All right,
show me
enough,
where
enough,
I
enough.
was talking shit
Anna,
about you.
Anna,
never talked shit about you.
enough, Anna.
Never.
This conversation over. We are done with it.
Please.
I get it, Anna, but it's over.
I have never talked shit about her.
Anna,
Bad. I
can I
have never talked shit about her.
Anna, can
Okay.
I
I want her
put
to show me where I
Anna?
was talking bad about her.
Anna, can I?
You've been with me for quite a few years. I've never talked bad about her.
Anna, can I say
Okay.
something really quick? Do you?
Go ahead.
Okay, if you get a moment, Google something called a parasocial relationship, because I feel like you have developed parasocial relationships with people that you follow, and they may not feel the same way back.
No, that's no.
So
Okay.
you didn't let me
I
finish. Anna.
understand,
Anna,
and I
Anna,
appreciate it, and I
Anna,
thank you.
Anna, you didn't
but
let me finish.
no.
But what I was about to say was they may not feel the same way towards you. They may not feel the same way towards you as you feel towards them, is the point I was trying to make, Anna. And I think you may want to do a little bit of soul searching, because if you're that concerned about if somebody's going to accept your apology or not, to the point where you say to them that they're doing something foul to you just by not accepting your apology, that's more of an inner issue that you have with yourself. That's all. I don't know you. This is just an outsider's observation. I don't even know the story of what happened, but you are literally telling on yourself that
okay.
you're not being honest and that you're not being credible.
I appreciate it, and I understand what you're saying, and I just have to say, let me say this. I got onto TikTok.
By the way, I'm a honey badger. That's who the fuck I am. Okay, go on.
All right. What's that?
I said you wanted to know who the fuck this guy was. I'm a fucking honey badger. That's who the fuck I am. But go on.
Yeah, I like it. All right. I got onto TikTok like 4 years ago for my niece. My sister committed suicide 4 years ago. So my niece was like, oh my God, you should get on TikTok. When I go back to Italy, like we could all talk to each other. And I made so many wonderful friends. And Polisa was actually one of my friends that I made many years ago. And
Oh, what are you talking about? When have we ever been friends? When were we friends?
Polisa, we weren't
Yes.
friends.
When?
Like 3 or 4 years ago, we weren't
Girl,
friends.
you lying. You lying. You
No,
is lying.
but that's
Yes, you
okay.
are.
No,
I only
I'm
got
not.
on this app in like April, May of 21. So I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna end this right now. And thank you
Yeah.
for coming up. All right, enjoy your
Thanks,
evening,
Blaze.
everybody. No problem.
Nice to not be. Oh, I need to block that really quick.
Sorry,
Weird.
yeah, I didn't see you up there.
Holy shit. Sorry. Mine too for you. Holy cow.
That's City Cat.
Hello.
Hey, City Cat.
Hello, everybody. I accidentally got in here, but I'm going to sit here a minute.
Hi.
Enjoy.
Amazing to me that, you know, people run around on this app and do the foul stuff they do and then try to play amnesia and then want receipts. No, I saw it. I don't need to show it to you. I saw it myself.
That's
Right.
Not
what,
an to you that you
And this is
did.
literally the same argument we had in Alicia's live that day. Like,
I don't even know the situation, and she was just telling on herself that she wasn't being honest and stuff, the way that she was behaving and acting. Like, I'm sorry, it kind of like bothered the hell out of me when she said, "Oh, if you don't accept my apology, then you're a bad person."
Oh, if you don't-
basically. In so many words. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but seriously, that's wrong.
I just wanted to say something real quick. Everybody in the comments section, you're all my friends. And,
Kind, don't you come in here and start your shit, man. Don't come in here with that shit.
all right, kick me out the box. I'm done. Kick me out the box.
this nigga. I mean, she was for real, too. And we've been friends like, I think 3 or 4 years. Bitch, you is lying. I ain't been on this app that long. What the fuck are you talking about? Friends, like, I know damn well we ain't never had no conversation off this app. I don't think she's ever been on my live. She's been in my live, but I don't think I've never let someone we used to be in boxes together. Girl, where? We
Anna has been around for a long time, and she
Teresa.
used to be all up and down the YouTube, commenting on everything, and trying to like say digs at towards me and everything.
She's like a ladybird.
Anna used to talk a lot of trash.
She's like a ladybird. Do you guys remember her?
No, I don't remember her.
Oh man, Polisa, do you
remember that
her?
name.
Oh, you got to remember that name because she was close with Cuban for a while. She was doing a lot of dirty stuff for Cuban for a while. In fact, I think she gifted one of her accounts to Cuban.
I mean, but for real, for me though, Joe, for real, the thing is that I never, even though I was engaged in this protest group with Closet Talk and Cuban, I had just got on this app. So I didn't know anything about the fold. I didn't know anything. And to this day, I still don't. Because it was nothing that ever interested me. I didn't have nothing to do with these people. I didn't know these people. And then when I did start having direct conversation with Cuban, that shit went left real quick because they decided to protect I Speak. So I don't know half of these people. That's why I said, like, I know who did what to me. I have an issue with the people that violated me. I didn't go out of my way to have issues or keep tabs on anybody else on this fucking app. So I don't know. I really don't know the ins and outs of all of this shit. Like, I have no fucking idea who these people are. I just knew when I had that conversation with Daewoo, I said something ain't right about this. There's got to be more than just, friends covering up for friends. Like, this is a multi-billion-dollar app. I worked in the entertainment industry, so it only makes sense to me that this is just another entertainment platform. And what do they do in any entertainment platform? They exploit. So with that being said, they make money. So with that being said, then I have to understand that there is something else that is keeping y'all loyal to each other because y'all can't stand each other. You don't like each other. Y'all talk shit behind each other's back all the fucking time. So why when you get on the platform is your whole rhetoric the opposite of what the fuck you were saying behind the scenes? So that's why I told them directly, I told them how this unfolds, how all of this shit hits the fan depends on how I Speak stands in his accountability. If he do the right thing, then we'll be all right. If y'all get out here and lie, it's gonna be a shit show. Cause I'm not changing my story. I'm not fucking protecting none of these goddamn predators.
I totally, like, in a different way. I'm not gonna, please don't take this. I'm not trying to compare whatsoever. I'm just saying in a different way. I think a lot of us can relate to that because I think a lot of us have felt violated by these people in one way or another, and we feel like, well, if they're not going to take accountability, it just sets a precedence, right? And I think that every time they get away with something, it makes it worse and worse and worse. That's why we all see the actions of people on this app is far more intensified and far more worse than it used to be. But you hit some really important points on talking about it being a moneymaker. Keep in mind, TikTok allows a lot of this stuff because they make 3 times more than what the creators are making, and the creators are happy with what they're making because this is how some of them make their freaking living somehow. I I wouldn't even
They
be
are getting
surprised if some
chump
of
change,
our,
Joe. They getting
I know,
chump
but I
change.
wouldn't be surprised if some of the bigger creators who have personal contacts at TikTok make more money, because at one point, and I have this video, I remember, and I don't take this wrong, I do not side with Mikey Huffin. I can't stand him whatsoever. Fluffy made videos about Lady B, saying that she was talking about how she was basically getting paychecks from TikTok before she even ever like
I was about
really
to
made much
say
on
a
it.
couple of people have already confirmed that they are actual TikTok employees, like they get
Yeah.
paid directly by TikTok.
To be
And that
actors, I
was coming
mean,
out back when I was protesting with We Are Here For It.
you know, a lot of people say things are conspiracy theory, and right now it is. I mean, I don't have proof that TikTok has done a lot of this stuff, but if I had a magic 8 ball, it would point to, you know, the little thing would come up, all signs point to yes. I mean, you put it all together, you start looking
Right.
at it. Why does Landini work with Guinevere? I mean, Guinevere used to contact Landini and ask him to come after me, and he would say things to her like, no, I'm not going to go after him, Joe's my friend. But why did they have to maintain that type of a relationship that they kept in touch with each other? Why was she able to pull him in to be part of the fair space movement so easily? What about their connections with the Fold? Even though they're not part of it, they support each other, they back each other up. You got to look at the bigger picture, because you're right, a lot of them don't like each other, but why do they continue to support each other?
Monetary
It's
reasons.
monetary. It is monetary.
At this point, TikTok is its own industry.
It is.
It is its own industry. It's not like the rest of these social media sites. TikTok alone creates so many different avenues for people to exploit and make money.
Mm-hmm.
So just like I said a while ago, just like Hollywood, there are people put in place to make this industry work the way they want it to. No different than the music industry. Look at all of those people, all the artists, all of the artists that walked away from the 90s and early 2000s broke as fuck. But the music label wasn't broke. The talent reps weren't broke. The managers weren't broke. Just the fucking artist was broke. No different on TikTok. Everybody get their pay before you get your crumbs.
Think about, remember how I was telling you, okay, we were talking about Landini. I wish he would come in here, because I have so many questions for him. Remember I told you all about how my account...
Have you ever tried to reach back out to him?
Oh, of course I have.
Oh, he ain't said nothing. He just ignored you?
Mm-hmm. Yep. How many times him and all the others always used to say to me, oh, we got your six, because I used to defend them pretty hard. I mean, I created a whole troll account to back them up at one point, an open troll account. Like, I showed my face on it, but it was still a troll account. But it's weird how, okay, the whole way my account blew up with that whole Kevin Harp thing, that guy, we talked about it. TikTok didn't take his account down. Landini didn't take down his account. It was taken down by me calling the judge. The judge talked to him and he took his own account down, but that account came back, the same exact account, and he renamed it. And I let Landini know he did nothing about it. I let other people in the Landini movement know they did nothing about it. Why? That was such a big deal. Supposedly that guy was going to get taken away by the police and all this other stuff, right? Nothing ever happened to him because he lived with a judge. Doesn't matter, what he did, he got away with it. But they never followed up on it. Landini knew his account was back. They never did anything about it because it wasn't trending. It wasn't something that was going to make him money. When I first met Landini, he even said his goal was to try and make his thing online a business to where he could just retire on it and not have to worry on it. How do you do that? The more followers you get, the more you can reach that goal, right? With Lady Guinevere. That's the same thing with Patrick. They all say they want to be famous. Lady Guinevere, literally on the phone one day.
Hold on a second. Agent of Chaos, I didn't know that was you. I was literally just showing the messages that you sent me earlier about the great Landini, about him working and having contracts with Quantico. We were literally just talking about that earlier in this live. My bad, Joe. Go ahead.
They only got 32 followers. I would love to talk with them. Okay, cool.
I don't know what your IG is, but you might want to reach out to Joe.
Yeah, I'd love to chat with you. Yeah, and I think Landini does a lot of good. He inspires a lot of things, helps kids bullied and whatnot. But in the big picture of things, a lot of it is very self-serving, in my opinion, sadly. And does he do good? What's that? What's that?
That comment at the bottom of the screen.
Oh yeah, I saw it. I saw the video already. That's the dude that was at
what?
the Blammies. The dude
Panda?
Yeah, the dude that was at the Blammies. He was talking all that shit about me and all this other nonsense.
Panda, what's his full
And all
name?
that shit.
What's his full name? Panda something.
He's a clown.
I used to
was on
follow
live
him.
crying about he stole like $500. I mean, he took $500 from him because he was supposed to make him a PC. And now you just saying
That's not
something?
what I'm thinking of. That's not the same person I'm thinking of. Helgo Panda? No, I don't know who they are.
Yeah, it's a scam, Agent of Chaos. I did my homework on all that.
Shoot, a lot of the things. Blaze, you remember the Kane Allen scam, right?
And that dirty glasses dude, I don't even know how anybody give him fucking money.
He's
Nigga,
done
like
so
he
many-
drink 411s. Like I don't trust no dude like that. He like he drinks straight out of the can. I'm good.
His breath I could smell from here, but he like Scala says about people, he's got stage 8 gingivitis. But that guy made up a whole story and claimed that a real life victim was his cousin, and he made $3,000 off of somebody else's tragedy, and he won't ever hold himself accountable for that. He got busted by me, and
I meant to
Joker
ask
was
you,
the
do
one-
you have that recording on you? I want you to
course.
play that recording of, proving that shit was a whole lie, Kane Allen.
Oh, you know what? He tried to back it up, and Brandy, you could attest to this. Remember when he tried to back it up and he said, "Oh no, that was my cousin. My father just didn't know about it because it was on my mother's side and they don't speak anymore. And look, here's a whole video of me that I took at the balloon release for my cousin." And then somebody pointed out, you didn't take that
I
balloon
pointed
release.
it out. He
You
screen
did.
recorded
You
it.
did.
I was like, "Why are you screen
It was-
recording it if you're the one that recorded the video? Why are you screen recording it, Kane?"
Because it was a screen recording. The fact that he still gets away with it, but Lady Guinevere tried to get a whole mess of big creators to come after me, and she set up this meeting when Kane was getting exposed about that, because she was also being exposed for the one who was boosting his fraudulent GoFundMe, and it was breaking her little heart. She doesn't like being accountable, and especially not for fraud, since she has actual fraud charges. She literally has real life fraud charges.
What happened
she
with
go-
her GoFundMe? I heard she ain't get much at all.
Oh, for her teeth? She got her new teeth.
Really?
Yeah, but you want to see something funny? Go back on her page. Brandy knows about this too, and I could show you receipts on this. She had done, my God, if you go back on her page and look at the GoFundMe that she did during like a hurricane, I think it was in November, it was, even the way she was talking, it was like, yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah. Like, I mean, it was so fraudy. It was not even funny. And she did this whole thing that the homeless shelter near her needs a new barbecue, but she wants to do this Lady G style, and she's going to get him 2 barbecues and a whole mess of food and stuff to go with it, right? So she did this whole GoFundMe, and she said she was going to show when she dropped off the grill, and she never did. And then I reached out to Girl from Casino, who did the whole GoFundMe for Lady G's teeth, and I'm like, hey, first of all, I knew her personally, and she told me she always had bad teeth. She did tell me that she had cancer and had to have a hysterectomy, but it wasn't, her teeth aren't bad because of the cancer. She's using that as an excuse to try and get money with her GoFundMe. I said, that's not cool. She should be honest with people. Like, that's taking advantage of the people who have cancer in the cancer community. And so Girl from Casino got kind of shitty with me. And I pointed out to her how Lady G never even made right on the last GoFundMe she did for the homeless shelter, the veterans, with the barbecue from several months back. The very next day, Lady G was making a video about how she's going to drop off the barbecue that she never had a chance to because she's been dealing with so many other things. But now she was going to, and she was going to record it and show that she fulfilled this GoFundMe. The problem is that we don't know because nobody's ever asked for the receipts. She could have been dipping into the GoFundMe for her teeth because she made so much on that to cover up for the fact that prior to that she was broke and rarely used that money for herself, because that's very likely. Even after she learned about the fraudulent GoFundMe with Kane Allen,
So
she
of course
still
Cuban
supported.
is got a live going on with you in the green screen.
Oh, of course. I don't care. This is what they do. They're trying to accuse me of being a groomer for James. They used my friend who was taken out of this world by police as a weapon and as a tool. And they try to accuse me of giving him HIV. They try to accuse me of grooming him. They can't decide if he was 11 when I met him or 17. He was born June 27th, 1974. It's no secret. I don't care. Everybody knows my real name on this app. They know everything about me. I mean, it's out there. It's in public. February 2nd, 1969 is mine. We met in the summer of 1994. And if I'm correct, I think it was just a couple of weeks before his 20th birthday. And I would just turned 25. But to them, they want to make it out like he's younger, all this other kind of stuff, right? They have my background. That's been cleared. They have his. That's clear. They can look at the dates of where we lived. They know he dated somebody else after me. They know he lived with somebody else after me. They even know this person's name because it's in newspaper articles. They know the full story. They know the truth, but they want to put out their own narrative.